Yo, you tuned in to Gorilla Cross Radio.
Broadcasting live from downtown Las Vegas, you're tuned in to Gorilla Cross Radio.
Yo, what's up, and welcome to another episode of Unnamed Sports Show right here on Gorilla Cross Radio, broadcasting live from downtown Las Vegas. We are powered by Precharge. Make sure you check it out. Go to precharge.com. We're going to talk more about that later in the show. But first, I'm your host, Quan59. We got my man, just in time, Josh Williams, in the building. What's good?
These Mondays are long days for me. It's a long day, but I'm doing good. I feel great. I feel like Dave is like he's on an island. It's so big in here. It's so spacious.
Even though we're the exact same distance apart.
We are, but it just, now that the wall is, it feels like just we have more space.
The ceiling is the roof.
Yeah.
The ceiling.
Way to go, Michael Jordan.
That's great.
That's
my
definitely
man,
a
Death
push.
Star Dave in the building. He has not been on our show in the new building yet.
I have not.
But he has been on his own show.
Correct. Shout out.
Him and Steve show up a lot less now that they have shows on Vegas High Media.
They get
Now,
to
well,
curse.
hold on, but the difference is I show up.
Hey, Steve was just
No,
here.
Steve's been here
Steve was,
twice.
yes, Steve was
Steve
here.
helped paint.
Monday and Thursday and help paint.
Well, I can't say anything to that. I was busy all of those times.
Well, we still have more painting to do tonight, Dave, so...
Can we talk about this, the Gorilla Cross graffiti behind us? Who did that?
Oh, my man, Joe Seif, Dodo. He's done the wall. He did the Speak Life wall at the other studio,
Yeah.
and all my walls at the studio all the time. So
That's amazing.
that's GC for Gorilla Cross. You might hear something Wednesday that tries to hijack it, but no, it's not Girl Chat
See,
Sports.
I gotta make sure I'm like a little. Yeah, I'll slide right here so that people can see it in the background. That's nice.
I feel you. And we've been having some internet difficulties, so if we cut out a little bit tonight, it's Cox Cable fault. But anyways, call in 702-608-3259 if you guys want to chime in with us. And yeah, we're going to talk about NFL. A lot going on in NFL right now. NBA, college football playoffs are set.
No shocks there.
We'll talk about the team that, kind of controlled their destiny and got whooped over the weekend. Talk about boxing at noon, West Coast time. That
was
I didn't even know
I was like,
it
he
was
won?
going on until it was done.
Yeah,
I
because I
felt
remember
the same
commenting, and well, granted, I didn't spoil it for you guys or anything, but I was also like, that went exactly what I
No,
what I
when
thought. You're like,
when
what are you
said
talking
that,
about?
I didn't understand what you were talking about. I was like, oh, wait, I got an alert.
And I knew it was going to be early, but I thought like the card started at noon, not the actual fight.
Yeah, the fight,
The fight was,
the main fight.
It was.
and when I saw
what I thought it was.
when I saw that it wasn't what I thought it was, especially when I saw that he won, I was like, oh, that was quick. I'm like, oh no, it wasn't.
He was morbidly obese.
So
in
it
that
was.
fight.
I mean, I knew Joshua was going to win. I thought he was going to win in 3. I thought he was just going to
You
knock
thought he
him
was
out.
gonna knock him out.
Yeah, I thought he was
No.
going to punish him. But,
That's a lot of man to knock down, Quan.
Also, Joshua, as I was saying the other day, he is slower Lennox Lewis. That's it.
Ooh, that's bad.
He just looks like he should be greater because he's in such great shape.
Yeah.
Like, he's in unbelievable shape.
Yeah, he doesn't excite me. Whenever I do watch him fight, I'm like, this is
Tyson
who
Fury
everyone's
would
all so
box
excited.
circles around him.
Yeah.
Deontay Wilder
Would murder him.
might put him in a grave.
Yeah,
Dang.
we'll see.
Those
I
two-
mean, because the rumor is that they're supposed to fight, that he's supposed to fight the winner of those two. So we'll see.
I'm, like,
we'll see how
mad.
that goes down.
Yeah, I'm like almost mad that it's like those two are having, that would be like equivalent to how you guys feel about the Western Conference of the NBA. Like they're over there having their own like showdowns where it's like this is really what matters, and this dude's over here kind of waiting on the wings fighting obese dude. Like that's not right.
I mean, but he had to take that rematch because he lost.
He had to get his
so,
belt
he had
back.
to get the belts back.
His belt back.
And now Ruiz will never see that third fight, nor should anybody want
No, he
to see
shouldn't
that.
see it.
He
I hope
wants
not.
it. He's like I put my
know
belts
he
back on the line.
I know he wants it, but there's no reason to have that fight.
And Joshua would never go for it again because you can't lose to him twice.
Well, also he wouldn't.
I
lose
mean,
to
if the
him
money's
twice.
right, if you get that Saudi money again, then possibly.
Not the South.
Even the Saudi money doesn't want to pay for that. I mean, you're going to get the same thing another time. Even if he's in better shape, it's never going to change the fact that Joshua is huge and will just keep him away.
Yeah.
That fight's not going to go any better. He had the miracle. Go fight somebody else.
Yeah. There you go. There's Dave's take.
Get out of the
Go fight
news.
somebody else.
We have MMA coming up this weekend.
Yeah, we have a big week in the UFC. They're out here in Vegas, so I know we have a lot of stuff going on starting Wednesday with media, Thursday, Friday, weigh-ins. So we're going to be busy. I know I can't make it all, but we'll be at as many things as possible.
It starts tomorrow, right?
Wednesday.
Does it start on Wednesday?
Yep.
I thought they had something tomorrow.
Well, I just hope Colby Covington comes down with a debilitating illness.
No,
Wow.
I don't. I hope he gets.
Yeah, I want to see him get beat.
Yeah, I want him to be beaten.
That's true. I would like to see him get the breaks.
Yeah, I don't want any excuses. I want him to be 100. I don't want to say, "Oh, my shoulder was displaced before the fight." I don't want to hear none of that. Because as we've heard from our other fighters that were here, everybody gets injured in training camp.
True.
Like everyone. So to come out so that's why I think a lot of guys kind of look at guys that say stuff about injuries like it's a cop out because it's like, yo, bro, everyone gets hurt in training camp.
I just hate that guy. I hate that he's listen, he is an action fighter, but nothing he does hurts anybody either.
Yeah.
Like he's never going to knock anybody out. He's just crazy cardio and ready to go for 5 rounds.
That's still saying something.
I mean, it means something. I mean, it doesn't stop him from being a garbage human being.
I mean, we'll see. And I know a lot of it is act, but at the same time, when your act is, like Dave said, to be a garbage human being, the sad thing is it's getting him somewhere.
Well, you know what though? I was literally about to ask you, and I'm glad you already segued me right over to me. He was saying some just really nasty things about Dana White, and that's all well and good when Dana White's able to make money off you as you're winning, and you're pulling money in because people want to see you lose. But once you lose, there aren't going to be any favors. Like Conor, he loves Conor, and he knows Conor brings in money, but he also knows that he can, bring Conor along as long as he can. Whereas these other guys, man, guys that have bad relationships with him, look at Tito, look at other people. Like once you've crossed him and he doesn't really have to help you, he ain't helping.
And Tito, they had to keep going because Tito was such a big star.
Yeah.
If you're not that dude yet,
he's not.
And there's so many other stars in UFC and people you can develop.
Yeah.
It's a little difficult, but I think
story.
I think the thing with Colby is he's actually going for more than UFC right now.
Yeah.
I think his ultimate goal is WWE and make that, because people are seeing how much they get paid when they go to WWE. So
that's a lot of money, isn't it?
I can fake fight. I don't have to really get hurt.
But no, they get hurt.
Come on, dog. They're not getting UFC hurt. They're not getting UFC hit.
Well, I'll say this. You don't, and it was interesting. I was just watching something about that the other day too about wrestling. They don't get hurt in terms of like UFC. You could get hurt for life. there's concussions, there's all the different
That's
things.
There's concussions in wrestling.
No,
too.
there's concussions in wrestling
Plus
too.
wear and tear of working 200 something days a year.
But it's all the countless bumps and different things that you have to do in wrestling that like just think about The Rock. The Rock, he can never have a six pack again because he's torn his abdominal wall like
But somebody like Covington he wouldn't be going there to
actually
be
fight.
there for 20 years.
Yeah.
He'd be going there for like Ronda. She went for what, a year?
She was there for a year.
Is she done?
Yeah.
Well, she didn't. She was out after a year. She didn't come back.
Really?
She'll come back again at some point.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't
the money
realize she
makes
was
sense.
done.
Yeah, she just went, did her
Dang.
thing.
That's not smart. Eventually you'd have to get bored. You like, because in the end, these people didn't make. Ronda made money. Ronda did make money, but did she make enough money for a lifetime?
Ronda made enough money for a lifetime because
Think
remember
so?
endorsements,
You're smart with your money too.
and movies, and all kinds of this.
30 mil ain't the same as it used to be.
If you're smart with it,
Ronda,
No, 30 million is always okay.
her and her dude like live out in the woods, and
She's
she
not.
made money.
She's not
she made
out
money
here,
for a lifetime.
Yeah, she's not out here trying to.
And
blow through
and the
it.
thing is with them, she made them money. She can go back whenever she feels like it.
Yeah.
She wants to buy another house.
Yeah.
Guess what? I'll make another quick wrestling run, cash it in.
Come back. Yeah. That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. Let me see. I'll let you know exactly. Yeah, Ronda Rousey worth $15 million. Not sure.
That is enough for a lifetime, still to this day.
give me $15 million. That's enough for a lifetime. I haven't made $15 million in my lifetime. I'm
See,
good.
but the difference is though, Quan, your $15 million is $15 million, and no one knows who you are. No one's expecting things from you, like in terms of, not necessarily in terms of you like carrying people with you, but like actually being out, going to things, buying the best dresses and all that kind of stuff, and having to look the part. You have to do that for a lifetime.
I don't think she cares about that.
She still has to go. She still has
She
to
doesn't
show.
have to.
She doesn't have to, but
Because she's already kind of fading away. That I think she wants to fade away. And if she
that's
doesn't,
true.
like, she can come back and make more money.
She wants to have a family. and
Get a
stuff,
movie
so
deal.
I think she's going to dip out for a little while, and then after she's had a kid or two, she's going to reappear. That's what's going to
And you
happen.
can get a couple million for a movie. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's things you could always do to come back.
autograph signings. She has a lot of memorabilia that she can do. So there's a lot of different things she still can
She'll
do.
stay important no matter what because of what she meant to the fight game.
Yeah.
We don't have the women's fight game without her. So
No.
she will always be she'll always be the most important. She won't be the best because she's
But,
already not the best anymore, but
Yeah.
she's the most important. Hands down. That won't change.
Yeah.
Are you excited to see Amanda Nunes in person?
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited to see a lot of people.
Yeah.
Max Holloway is going to be there.
That's gonna be a good. It's gonna be a good card.
Yeah, it's a really good card. But I mean, I really do want to see, Covington, that fight. It's going to be exciting. There's, but we had a big fight this last weekend too in D.C. We should have went.
Washington D.C.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What other D.C. is in America?
You made it sound like we could just like let's go. Like, sure, that's my
Just
life
hop on
right
the
now.
PJ.
I would.
Well, you're from there, so I figured that you.
I mean, unless I figure out a way to bend time and have a time warp, you see me just running to DC every weekend? I'd have
Say
Lito's
every
Pizza
weekend.
right now. Like right now, I'd have Lito's Pizza.
All
for
right.
all of
Anyways, it was in D.C. It was Josh's hometown, so
It is.
I didn't realize it was in D.C.
Yeah,
We could have planned it out, maybe.
I think Tony Bradley was supposed to fight in it.
No, he fights the 25th of January.
Okay.
He's in the same card with Jamal Hill.
Ah, nice.
It is nice to see these guys, all their fights starting to come up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we actually had there was somebody from Contender Series in this last fight in DC, and he dominated them.
Good.
Dang, I forget his name.
I was looking. I didn't see anybody's name I recognized. There was somebody.
Yeah, we
from
didn't.
Contender Series?
We haven't interviewed him, but he might have fought the same day as Jamal.
Huh.
I'm not sure, but
Okay.
yeah, I mean, he fought, he won. So far, almost all the Contender Series winners from this past summer have won their first
Good.
UFC fight.
That's
Talented
good.
fighters. I mean, you saw those guys. They put
But
on
just
a show.
to know they're going out there to reach out to fighters like that, and then you don't disappoint once we give you a contract.
Yeah.
I mean, and what's that say for Dana and the other guys that are
The matchmakers.
picking the matchmakers picking these guys? knowing that you guys really do know fighters because you know what you're looking for, and you're not going to pick a fighter like you're good enough for the UFC, but you might lose. You're looking for guys that are going to win a lot.
Killers, as Dana
They
says.
need stars to keep it moving.
Yeah.
I mean, because the other stars are starting to age out.
Yeah.
John Jones, you don't know if he's going to stay out of trouble. You don't know how many more fights he has left.
You got to keep John Jones busy. You can't let John Jones fade.
Yeah, don't give him time
for months at a time. Like, you got to constantly. Yeah, John Jones got another fight coming up in 3 months. like, do not let him have too much time to himself.
Yeah, he gets a little wild out there in Albuquerque sometimes.
He gets that itch. Oh my goodness,
Scary stuff.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but it's going to be fun. I mean, we're going to try to get as many interviews as we can. I know we'll be in a lot of the scrums and all the post-fight interviews. So make sure you follow us on social media at Gorilla Cross and at Quan59. So we'll be there, man. I'm excited. I'm not sure where they have us. I've heard there's like a media tent on the outside.
No,
so.
I don't want any tents. I want to be able to smell sweat.
Well, you'll smell sweat in the media tent.
Yeah, you'll smell more
Maybe
sweat.
the other media members, but you'll smell some sweat.
Oh no, that's got a lot of layers that I could attack.
Attack? I mean, you're the one that's going to be living in it.
No, it's too cold outside for me to just be sweating. But yes, that's true. That is true.
I'm sure it's not like a little small camping tent.
No, I know anything the UFC provides is always high level. They do a really good job taking care of us. The food anytime has been phenomenal in terms of media food. So, but yeah, I would like to be inside if we could be, even if it was that high perch and T-Mobile.
Yeah,
even if it was up
assuming
there.
that's what it is.
Yeah, I wouldn't be adverse to that. That's not bad.
Yeah. All right, we're getting into the NFL. Somebody wants to call in, of course, because her team finally won a game.
Let's make it short.
God.
Even though you won, you barely won. I think it was it overtime?
Overtime.
Against a horrible team.
Let's
against the quarterback that was benched.
Let's just get it out of the way.
Desiree, call in.
Come on, Desiree.
Desiree.
Desiree, you have literally, and I'm going to time it. She's got 1:30 seconds.
And the problem with this is that it's a horrible division. It's a division that shouldn't make the playoffs, but a team from their will, and they'll host a playoff game, which I don't mind the division winner making the playoffs. I'm not one of those people like all the 6 best teams need to make it. I mean, it does suck that like a 9 or 10 win team won't make it, and a 6-win team could make it.
Well, no, not 6.
Okay,
not 6 win. No, not 6.
Easily.
6 could, but it will be 7.
No,
Six
not 6 because both the Cowboys
It'd be a 7. They play each other again.
Yeah, they play each other. So I mean, unless it's a tie.
Well, if Philly would have lost tonight, there could have possibly been a 6.
Yes.
So it will be a possibly 7-win team, which is still under
That's
500,
still ridiculous.
making the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, and okay, you win the division, you have to keep the divisions worth something.
Worth playing.
So
for.
I understand that, but they shouldn't host the playoff game.
I wouldn't mind if they actually I would like it if they went to how the NBA changed it, because remember the NBA used to do the same thing with division winners, but they were especially division wins didn't matter. So now the playoffs are just seeded how your record comes in.
Yeah.
You could have the 2 best teams in the same division.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have no problem with that with the NFL. It's like, hey, you're 7-9. Congratulations, you got in the playoffs. Let's see what happens. You don't get a home game.
You don't get a home game
for that.
I think that's my biggest problem with it is there's going to be possibly a 10-3 team going to play in Dallas or in Philly with 7 wins. I mean, not 10, not 10, not 10,
10
but not 10-6. I'm 13-3.
Oh,
I just meant they're 10-3 right now.
That could happen. I don't think there'll be a team.
No, it could happen.
It could happen. I don't think. I think Seattle. I think Seattle has a tougher stretch down the way.
I mean, there's only 3 games left, so Seattle might lose 1 more game out of their 3.
They're 12-4.
And so that's still 12-4 playing against 7 and 9.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
or
awful.
6 and 9 potentially.
No, it'll
has to be 7 and 9.
I'm telling you, it'll end up being 8-8, which will still be awful.
Yeah. Well, look. So this is my counterpoint to that. There have been times where
we do have a caller live on the air.
Minute 30.
Before. All right. Hold on. Let me start the clock. Desiree, you got 1:30 seconds. Don't be trying to get into one of your long rants.
Are you there?
No. All right. Good.
Are you there? No.
She's not there.
Hello?
Still on the clock.
So I know the clock still starts. It's a running clock. Just like basketball.
It might be the internet issues. I'm sorry if you guys do call in.
Okay.
Our internet's tripping today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But my counterpoint to both you all saying that is there have been times where a team like, say the Cowboys or Eagles, is 7-9 or
They win that
8-8.
first playoff game.
They still win that game, and think about the Giants. The Giants, the year that they won, I think they were 9-7, and they won the Super Bowl. So that kind of stuff happens, and that's one of the things that makes football great is that those. I mean, it sucks for that team that man, we had a great season and we lost, but you still gotta beat who's in front of you.
See,
maybe there should be
it.
maybe there should be a thing where if you're under 500, you don't. Seriously, I'm
Is that
about
an
that.
under 500 trigger?
Honestly, I that's not even a joke. I'm
I
not
would
even
be
joking
okay
about
with
that.
That's pretty good. That's
if
pretty
you're
good.
if you're 7-9 and you win the division, it's like, okay, you guys all suck.
It's
You
an
guys,
8-8
you do
limit.
not deserve it. Seriously.
Carry it in multiple sports. I'd be fine with that with basketball too. 16 best teams should make the playoffs.
Oh,
Sorry,
you-
Josh. That'd
you
be
West-
some. That'd be
you
some
West
Wizards.
Coast, you West Coast
That'd be
bias.
some Wizards teams not making the playoffs.
We'd make it, but we'd be going up against the Warriors.
Yeah, you'd be going up against the number 1 seed.
All right, caller, you're live. Are you there?
What up, fellas? It's Jose.
There we go.
What's up, Jose?
What's up, Jose?
Jose?
We're waiting for you to get here.
Well, nah, I'm not going to make it in. I'm not sure if you got my text, so that's why I'm giving you guys a call because I jumped in while you guys were talking about the NFL and the seedings. Only thing I need to say about that, I was having this conversation with someone earlier today. It's an absolute joke, and it should not happen. If there's a team that's 7-9, I'm sorry, you should not be allowed to host a playoff game. I do not care if you won your division. That means your division is complete trash.
Correct.
I understand it happened with the Saints with the Seahawks a few years ago when they beat the Saints with the whole big Marshawn Lynch run. But that's once in a blue moon. It should not happen. So if you have a team that has 12-4, it is an absolute disgrace for the NFL to allow a 7-9 team to have a playoff game.
Plus, you make all that money from that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it. I think it should change completely. And yes, you'll make a lot more money if you switch it out and give a playoff team that has a winning record that home game. But, I mean, I just wanted to jump in, man. I couldn't make it in tonight. Keep doing your thing, fellas. I just wanted to chime in and give my thoughts on that. And it's the same thing with the NBA. I think it should be 1 through 16. It should not be the best 8 teams on each side because that's also a joke. And we've already talked about that as well. So,
Right.
But I hope they do something. I don't want to see it happen. I hope that the freaking Eagles or I don't even want to say that other team's name. I hope they can at least have a freaking 8-8 record going into the playoffs because that would be a little more respectable.
Still gross.
That's still really bad. Thanks so much for the call, Jose.
All right, fellas. Talk to you soon.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people agree with that. I think something will change. I think they'll at least change, who gets the home game because you're right. It's not fair for Dallas if they're 7-9 or 8-8.
But it's the NFL.
Getting
Nothing
money.
will change.
I think it will.
Oh, I see what he means by getting the money. Yeah, that isn't fair.
But I'm telling you,
Because that does help.
I think it will.
Helps.
These
that
are people
owner.
that don't change. The
I think it
NFL
will.
ain't changing.
I think it
and honestly though, in some ways, I don't know. I just certain things because so much is already changing in football. There's certain things that I'm like, you know what? That's just football. That's just this. Some things I don't know. I don't mind change. Change is necessary.
I think that's something simple that they can change.
Well, no,
just by saying you don't get the home game.
It's something
if you
that-
have the worst record, you win the division, you still get in the playoffs. But whoever you're playing that has the best record gets that home game. It doesn't make any sense.
That
for us.
also
I
incentivizes
understand.
more good games at the end of the season because by the end of the season, like last year, almost every team was locked in. You couldn't really do anything about anything. So there wasn't a lot to really. That last week is getting really bad.
Yeah.
But if you could play to
if it meant
to
something,
host a
if
game,
it really meant something
to
for
host
you.
that first game instead of I'm already going on the road anyway. Or even worse, you have teams trying to act like you're going to have a team
lose
actively trying
to get a better position for themselves.
Yeah, actively trying to lose possibly at that point.
Yeah, no, that's true.
I don't like it.
It is what it
Adam
is.
Vinatieri, season-ending surgery.
Oh,
Please say career
You
ending
know how many kicks he has? How many field goals?
for his career.
Yeah.
probably one shy of something.
one shy of 600.
Oh, I
He's
knew
at
it.
599.
The way
Don't
that he
trot him
said
back
that,
out
the
there.
way that he said that, I was like, he's got to be shy.
He's got to come back next year and at least kick one more.
No,
He Hall of Famer,
he's the best.
Definitely Hall of Famer.
still a Hall of Famer.
His resume says he's the best.
First ballot.
Oh,
Easy.
yes.
Wow,
He's the best kicker
If
ever.
you're the best at your position,
You
I
should
think
be.
that's pretty unquestioned for him. He has the longevity and the playoff stuff. He has everything.
Yeah, no,
he's
I
the
mean-
best.
So
What
we
is
all
he
want
at?
to see him retire
Yes.
off an injury.
Colts fans more than anybody.
I don't know. A lot of that wasn't always his fault. He missed some kicks, but there was a lot of times that wasn't necessarily his fault.
He missed a lot of kicks this year.
I don't know, man.
What's his record? Somebody look that up for me.
His
This year.
record?
This year.
Oh, you mean his
Bad.
stats this year? His stats this year. Give me 2 shakes of a lamb.
I kept saying they need to take him behind the shed like old Yeller.
Oh,
It was
come
time.
on, man. Don't make Josh laugh.
That was
Like-
well on message though. That was good.
Here, Josh, go. No, Josh, here, Adam, go chase this branch.
Josh,
Oh
boy.
my gosh.
It's okay.
Oh, that's too good. All right, this season he
He's
was
not good.
17 for 25, 68%.
That's bad.
It's pretty
That's
And
very
a lot
bad.
of them were in bad spots too.
Well, I'll put it to you like this: for his career, he's 83.8, 599 makes to 715.
Yeah, he's
attempts.
just taking it down for his
Yeah.
career numbers.
bad. I mean, there's a team with
68.
no kicker that might want him back.
That's true. They probably would take him back right now if he
Patriots
was
would
healthy.
take him
Well, the
back.
Patriots definitely with kicking with his off
They've
leg.
had like 7 kickers this year, something
no,
crazy.
no,
They've been going
and,
through a
and
lot.
they had actually had only 3 since since the 90s.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it was Vinatieri, and then they said
Gostkowski?
it. No, but there was a guy in between Shane or Sean somebody.
Shane Graham?
Shane Graham for like a season or half a season, then Gostkowski took over.
Yeah.
And then it's been Gostkowski.
Wow.
So they had great kicker longevity for a long stretch, and then now this year they've had some unrest.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
Happens to the best of us.
And so there was 5 10-2 teams yesterday going into Sunday, and only 2 left.
Correct.
Your team is one of them. Well, no, your team's 11-2 now.
Well, yeah, they're
Well,
all.
I mean, there's 2.
There's another team that's 11-2 that actually beat
They all won
that team.
They all won or lost the game.
Yes. 3 of them lost though.
Yeah. So
But
there's only
man, that
2
was San Francisco and New Orleans had the game of the season yesterday.
That
was
reminded me
wild.
of the Rams Saints game last year.
The Rams Chiefs game.
No.
You mean the playoff game?
No.
No, you're talking about- that was
the
Rams-
Rams Saints in the
Chiefs.
regular.
Rams Chiefs.
You talking
Those
about
Rams
the like
Chiefs?
Yeah.
60 to 70 point game?
Yeah. Didn't the Saints have one of those like just
It
marathon
was close.
games last
I mean,
year
they,
too?
Yeah, they did, but it wasn't.
But not that
wasn't
game.
that
It
game?
wasn't
That was a Monday
game.
night
That was-
game too, which made
Yeah,
it.
that was Chiefs.
And honestly, this should have been a Sunday night game.
something.
Well, they can't. Here's the thing, though. You can't. Both networks get to protect a game. So Sunday night, once they go to the flex schedule, they get to protect
I see.
something. So
Something.
that's why you like next week. That's why you see Bills Pittsburgh is the Sunday night game since they flexed out of Minnesota.
I was wondering why.
and the Chargers. But that's
Good-
why because
Good
Fox,
decision.
Fox and CBS they each get to protect their prime game.
But they also can move a 1 o'clock to a 4 o'clock though, right? That also can happen.
That's rarer.
Okay.
They usually don't do that because it's not messing with.
It messes with West Coast.
Yeah, usually that only happens for weather situations and
Yeah.
things like that. I don't know why some of these teams never play at 1 o'clock, but like the Bills never play at 1 o'clock.
I like that 4 o'clock game.
1 o'clock.
Well, 1 o'clock on the West Coast.
Well,
but-
you live on the
Yeah,
West
you
Coast.
live here now. It's not a 4 o'clock game anymore.
10-1,
Listen, okay.
and sometimes
This-
125.
Football season is ruining my faith life. I haven't been to church in weeks.
You could still
That's a
worship
choice.
and pray, and
Yeah, I mean, I do. all
there's
of those
Saturday
things.
night church.
Not well.
Not what?
I don't have a church right now, so I guess maybe there could be. Now, I was literally about to take that away. Like, no, we don't have that. And I was like, I'm not a part of a we right now.
Wow.
It's just me. It's wherever I choose. And my parents were recruiting me to their church like Duke. My dad is like chef.
They drop in the bag?
Yes, all the time. Like, I mean, like, yeah, you should just like. I'm like, Dad, I'm not coming over to death row. It's not the way this
Hey.
works.
Why not?
I like my parents' church, but it's not
Older?
Well, no, they have
There's
a
no
decent.
hot girls at this church, right, Josh?
None at my church before. My church was mostly
I
all
know.
married.
I know how you operate. So
No. My church was mostly married,
Oh,
married
that's
people
it.
my
That's it.
age, and then also like I did have people that were my age.
I knew it was something female related.
What? It wasn't anything female related.
Okay.
What? I'm not
All right, so
trying
you're
to
different about
covet.
that than
I'm not
everything
trying to covet anybody's wife.
Well, that's not what I was trying to say, man. I was just saying that you're looking. You're on the prowl.
I'm always on the prowl. That's all.
We found out last week he's on the Facebook dating app.
Hey man, you. ain't
How's that
gotta-
going for you?
You don't have to. Actually, not bad.
We
but
said
you-
that on the show, didn't we?
Did I?
Yeah.
Let me be
You were
loose
super-
lipped.
you
Let
were
me
super
be
proud of that
loose
on the
lipped.
show.
All right.
I thought you were joking at first. You're like, no.
Nope, not at all. Was
So if you want to find
dead
Josh's
serious.
profile,
I'm sure you're doing well out there, Josh.
if
Josh
you have
does
ripped
fine.
jeans, you have a better chance.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you got a shot.
Well, or you could go the Bumble route where they choose you. You do well with that. You're a nice looking guy. You're a nice guy.
I have my moments.
He's probably too nice for Bumble.
No, I'll say no. I have
Yeah.
I have no problem with
He's
this.
too nice.
Plus, he's black, so that will enter some level of danger for some of these girls out there.
Dang.
Dad'll hate this no matter what.
Wow.
He's the nicest, and Dad'll still hate him.
Is what it is, Dave. Is what it is. There's nothing I can do to change it.
All right, back to the 49ers having the best record in the NFL. It
Kinda
it was a crazy game. It was a great game. That Kittle catch and run.
The man tried to rip his helmet off.
Dude was trying to stop. Like, that was the most blatant face mask I've seen in my
never seen
life.
a worse
He never
one.
let go.
Never seen a worse one.
Well, I'll say this. At first, I thought
That's
they
almost
were.
like you got to get kicked out of the game for like
Well,
holding on so tight.
At first, I actually thought that Kittle, when he stiff armed him, grabbed his face mask, and that was the reason why they threw the flag. Because if it was he grabbed his face mask and the other dude grabbed Kittle's face mask, they could have thrown two instead of offsetting, and then they would redo the whole play. And that was actually what I was quietly hoping for.
Yeah, it didn't happen that way, though.
No, not at all.
Didn't happen. But
And
as
Kittle dragged him like 10 or 15 more yards
probably
with him
even
on his
more
face
than
mask.
that. And he in the commentator was actually saying that like if he didn't grab his face mask, he would gone. I don't think he was stopping.
Well, there were multiple dudes there. It took like
So
three dudes
he was
to
going to get those yards with a penalty or without. I was scared when they went for the field goal because Robbie Gould, he just came back from injury. His first 2 or 3 extra points went far to the left, barely made it. Far to the right, barely made it. So all I was thinking when he did that, I'm like, I hope this doesn't come down to field goals because he's going to miss. I just had a feeling he was going to miss.
I knew they were okay with Robbie Gould.
I didn't. When it came down to that, I'm like, this is another. They're close enough to where this is pretty much an extra point, and he's been making me nervous all day already. And usually when I get that feeling on a
You're right.
field goal, I'm almost always right. And when it went in, it's one of those things. I'm just going to close my eyes and listen to the commentators. I kept my eyes open, but it was good.
You
It was
deserve
good.
to
It was
win
a really
the
good game.
Deserve to win the game.
I think Saints messed up a couple times, going for 2.
No. They went for 2 to basically make sure if you got a field goal, it just tied the game.
Yeah, the going for the 2 at the end, especially. made
I'm not
sense.
talking.
Not that going for 2.
They went for 2 in the beginning.
Somewhere else
yeah.
in the game. Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah.
But that's Sean Payton. That's how he's always been.
Yeah.
Well,
There was a couple things that, and then their defense just does not. Breeze does some amazing things.
Their defense has been good this year, though.
No, they
I mean,
have.
They've been
49
good, but
They have-
what happens is they just don't protect Breeze the way I feel like a defense should, because Breeze will do some amazing things,
and then they'll turn right
this
around and let it
happens a lot.
happen.
Yeah.
Just give up a touchdown right back.
Yeah.
That's how I felt too. Was
See,
like,
but this whole game was back
That's
and forth
not
like
their.
that.
That's not their big problem. To me, their big problem is that what happened to Kamara. Kamara sucks this year. Like
feel like he
legitimately
sucks?
sucks this year.
didn't you have him on your fantasy for a
cool
second?
Yes, I know.
And he did well for you.
No, he did
You
not.
blaspheme.
I'm not blaspheming. He's had like one good game this whole season.
I'm pulling it up.
He's been both hurt and
Yeah.
bad. Look it up.
Not both hurt and
Look it
bad.
up. Latavius Murray has been better than him. He gets their goal line touches. Kamara's not catching as much out of the back. Michael Thomas is still doing
He's still
craziness.
He is. He did really well for me. Okay, yeah, Dave is completely right.
Yeah, Kamara has been
He has
trash this year.
612 yards on the season. He has 1 touchdown.
Yes. Just one.
Bad.
Quan?
What?
1.
Yeah, that's bad.
I told
1
you.
touchdown. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, he's bad.
Let's see, reception yards. Let's see what he's doing on receptions.
Not like last year or any other year of his career.
All right, reception yards. Sorry, I had to pull up the bigger stats.
It's bad, Josh. You don't need the exact stats. I'm telling you, it's bad.
Wow. Yeah, that's not
All right,
good.
it's bad. I'm not gonna. Let's not stay on him all day.
Correct.
Yeah, it's bad.
But that's their problem. That's their weak link right now. Although
And
Latavius
the
Murray
fact-
has picked up some slack.
And the fact that's their weak link, and they're still 10-3. So what's that saying about them? And this could definitely be a rematch though in the NFC playoffs. So we will see what's up with that. But most likely it would be in San Francisco too. So that'd be, might be a different story.
Barring something unforeseen, but San Francisco did lose their center yesterday, and Sherman is also hurt.
Sherman's out for a couple weeks.
Is he?
D's out for a couple weeks.
Richburg's out for the season, I believe.
Yeah.
That's your center?
That's a bad one.
Sorry, Quan. You look a little flummoxed.
Oh.
No, losing your center is important.
Yeah,
Big.
yeah,
I'm
it
not
is.
saying it's not.
Yeah.
The guy that came in to replace him did fine when he was in. So, I mean, you just have to adjust and keep going. But, yeah,
Next
I mean,
man up, Quan. Next man up.
there's been a lot of injuries, and they've come in running back-wise. I mean, we've had 3 running backs with great games all year. They've been
that's
going
true.
back and forth. Breida was out for a while. All of a sudden, Mostert came in, started balling it up. Coleman's been balling. So,
Speaking of running back injuries, did you see what happened to Geis?
I did see what happened to guys.
Why does Darius Geis get hurt on a big run every time? Every time he's gotten hurt, every single time, it's been on like a 20 or 30-yard run. I've never seen somebody go on a great run and then get broke up at the end of the run.
I can't explain it, but it is what it is.
And every time, it's something with his knee. They're saying he might have sprained his MCL, or they don't know. And I was like, oh,
or they
God.
don't know.
Oh, God, here we go.
After he missed all that
and-
time last year.
That does suck just seeing, especially the end of the season when players start going out.
Especially
It's
when
a
you're
little
doing
sad.
it for a team that's terrible.
That sucks. What's
They
up
are
with Peterson?
terrible, Josh. I
Is
mean, there's
Peterson
no way
still
around
playing?
it.
Yeah, he's doing great.
Yeah, he scored
Great.
a touchdown yesterday.
Yeah.
Great.
Shoot, he's been averaging like 90 yards a game since Callahan's been the coach.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, he's been
when
taking
he gets his touches, he's done fine.
He's-
He still looks like Adrian Peterson.
he still looks like he could take the switch to an underage boy to a ridiculous degree.
Was it ridiculous? We don't know that.
It's there were pictures. It seemed a little excessive for a man of his size.
Well, I mean,
What was the kid doing?
I come from a different
Are you listening or not?
different generation.
Are you listening or not?
I come from a generation we had to go get our own switch.
Yeah, but they weren't going
No,
up
kinda-
and down the
wait
legs.
Wait a minute. Do you understand what kind of daggone like demented like psychological
get all
warfare
that.
that does for a child?
I understand all
Yeah,
that.
go ahead
and it's not
outside.
even having a problem with it, but man, he beat the brakes off that like 3-year-old kid.
Hey man, look, bro. I told you not to touch that stove. I told you not to touch that stove. Go ahead outside, cut down a switch. That was Dave. It's not fun. Not fun times, Dave.
Wow.
We get beat.
All right,
That's
talking about getting beat. Bills got beat by the Ravens.
Bills defense played well. They basically every time the Ravens scored,
It was a 6-point game.
they slipped.
7-point game.
They slipped up every time. They lost on big plays for the most part. They contained Lamar
Yeah.
as best as you can,
Yeah.
but
Dave.
Ravens are
But
good.
listen, man, but Bills are good. You thought they were going to be one of the worst teams in the league when the season started. That's what you kept telling us.
I
they're
did not
one-
think they would be good.
They're one of the best teams in the league. And
Thank
for them to even compete like that and be in it the whole game
It was
with
in
the
Buffalo,
Ravens,
right?
Yeah,
It was in Buffalo.
it was in Buffalo. But, that's the Ravens. A lot of people are picking them to win the Super Bowl,
Or at
and you
least
had
get
a
to one.
chance
Yeah.
to beat them.
Yeah.
So, listen, man, the Bills are good.
are good.
Obviously, compared to all the other top teams, they are missing things. But if Josh Allen
On
could play
offense.
how he's been playing,
Yeah.
He's had some really good games the last few weeks.
Well, he definitely had a great one against Dallas.
Listen,
That was amazing.
no one wishes to play the Bills. You understand what I'm saying?
No, because they have one of the absolute within the 3 best defenses in the league.
Yeah, I mean they have a top 5 defense. They have an offense that, as gadgety as as it might be, it still can do damage in certain areas, and their defense is going to keep them in games. So all they really have to do is put 2-3 drives together. You put 3 drives together, you're in a ball game.
They create turnovers.
Yeah.
Josh Allen is scary enough when running.
Yeah.
Now, if he's just back in the pocket, he's not scary at all because he's just going to sail passes over dudes.
Is he really not that accurate?
Not
Yes,
at all.
he has problems with accuracy.
No, here's Josh Allen is what people accuse black quarterbacks of being. All he could do is run. He's going to sail passes. He does not read defenses.
Yeah.
That's it.
So he's Donovan McNabb for stretches.
No, Donovan McNabb would be far more accurate. If his name was Jay Sean Allen, people would be saying racist stuff about him all day.
Wow.
All day long.
Well, your boy Lamar Jackson in that game wore white gloves and white sleeves.
Oh, that's dope. I didn't see that at all. That's how you troll.
I'm not sure if many people caught that. I think Dave's actually the one that brought my attention to it. Because I was on the Niners game. I don't watch Red Zone when Niners are playing.
Oh. That's what you're not supposed to do. Exactly. You're supposed to watch your game.
Yeah, you watch your team. I mean, I usually have Red Zone on too, but this game I couldn't even watch Red Zone. It was going back and forth the whole time.
Your game had as many scores as anything on Red Zone.
Trust me, your game was on Red Zone playing.
It's probably the whole time.
Your game was Red Zone this weekend.
But I thought that was hilarious, and I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything else that anybody mentioned that. I'm not sure if you have, Dave, today,
great.
but he wore white gloves and white sleeves.
Just so you don't have any question about my dark hands.
But he was using a white football, too.
No, he wasn't. Was it snowing out there?
It seemed like it. I mean, he was still making the same plays.
Yeah, the plays were no different.
They were no different.
Shockingly, everything was exactly the same.
Same Lamar.
That's how you troll.
I'm surprised people didn't catch on to that. And I'm sure he probably wears those with those jerseys anyways. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
I think it was the purple jerseys, right? Or were they wearing the black?
No, they wear the white. No, they wore the white yesterday.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I can't. I don't watch enough Ravens football.
I'm pretty sure they wore the white.
I don't think they did.
I
feel like the jersey was a different color than the.
Well, the Bills were wearing all red, so they could have worn any of their jerseys.
Ooh, I like those all red Bills jerseys.
You like the all reds?
I know.
I don't like all red.
It's a little
jerseys.
much.
It's I wouldn't like
all
to see
blue
them,
looks better for them.
I wouldn't like to see them do it all the time, but to just break it up every now and again. See, like your team at least has a couple options. My team, we ain't got no options.
I mean, the all
red. Well, you do. They're just bad. There ain't a good option.
Wait a minute.
Are you gonna say the gold numbers one? The gold numbers one is nice.
Which gold numbers one?
Like the throwback one where it's
with the yellow with the gold helmet. The year
they can't have that. I've seen them not use that with that too.
Yeah. Oh no, you're talking about the burgundy with the gold numbers. Oh,
that's
okay.
their best one.
You like that one. I like that one too, but I don't like that they started switching up the helmet and just taking the stripes off the helmets and leaving the logo.
I just don't. I mean, listen, I like uniforms that are more classic. I like that the Bills went back to a more classic uniform. I mean, but just the inherent racism in your team's uniforms is just something I can't allow. It's hard to swallow.
Have to get down to the bottom line.
I didn't make it that way. It's just how it is.
The all-white Redskin uniforms are one of my favorites, and they very rarely go to them. Whenever they do, and we start a win streak, they don't come off.
All white for the Redskins.
But you say when they start a win streak, like that's something that happens.
Hey, the last few times we've gone all white, we usually do, and then most of the time they actually
was Gus Farrat quarterback the last time that happened?
No, it was like 2007. Shut up.
How ironic they went all white.
It's kind of clean.
Just like the country they got took from them.
Oh boy.
Oh, manifest dance.
All right.
But yes, the Bills are good.
And we could see the football yesterday. Thanks, Lamar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wearing white.
Still can't stop me.
He put a move. I don't remember what player it was. He put a move so nasty on a professional football player that I was just like,
he does that at least
as
once
the man
a game.
is falling over, in his mind, he's like, What am I supposed to do about that? Answer is he put a Barry Sanders on somebody.
Really?
He shook somebody so bad.
Man, I hope we have another Barry at some point.
There will never be another Barry Sanders.
I know.
That is one of one.
That sucks.
The best I ever saw.
And he should have been in the league at least 4 more years, but
But he was a lion.
2 more years.
But he was a
Yeah.
lion, and
Yeah.
they took the man's soul out of him.
I was going to say
Horrible.
soul.
All right,
Snatched it.
New England lost to Kansas City.
Yeah.
We've talked about that. Kansas City's going to be a team that people start forgetting about because they had injuries. They had some bad losses early.
Well, Mahomes still ain't right.
He's not right, but he's still balling.
He's Patrick Mahomes, so he's got extra, but he's not Patrick Mahomes from last year. He is definitely not healthy.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I think he came back quick. I mean, you had a
Too quick.
dislocated knee and was back 2 weeks later.
He came back too quick. That's
What?
you could tell
That's
that
at least a month. Like, let me just relocate it. You can't even relocate
No,
a
see,
house.
it just popped back in. It's all right. It
Yeah,
popped back.
I think that might come back to haunt him on that. I think he rushed back a little too fast.
He's still he might not be moving at the same side to side cadence, but north south, he's still plenty fast. Like he's had some 20-yard runs where I was
Well, it
just
doesn't
like,
take
wow.
anything off his arm either.
Well, I mean, but it is. I
A
can't
little bit,
remember.
'cause
I
he
can't
can't
remember.
step into throws
Yeah,
the
it's
same way.
his plant foot, right? It's his front foot. So
Yeah.
I don't.
So he's not throwing the same,
Yeah.
but I mean, he has more than enough. That guy might have the craziest arm I've ever seen in my life.
And we talk about it every time New England loses, do they look like they could win it this year? They're 10-3, and even some of those wins weren't super impressive. But what do you guys think, man? Is this finally the
bad.
time that the Patriots and Tom Brady are just kind of like their time's up?
I'm not prepared to say time is until someone
Proves
drives
you.
the stake into their heart. I am not prepared to say that they are done until they're actually done. I'm never
counting them out.
gonna speak their name too much because we say this. We've said for multiple straight years now. Every year it's like, oh, Brady's looking old.
Yeah.
They don't look good. Their receivers aren't getting open. You know, it's always something. Yes, this year seems to look worse, but if you remember last year, after a couple
Gronk
losses,
was hurt. And,
then they
Gronk was
lost to
there,
the
at
Dolphins after they lost to
Oh,
Pittsburgh.
man, they lost to the Dolphins last year.
Yeah, and remember that was towards the end of the season, right around the same time.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. They still have a really good defense.
they do, and that's
He still has Edelman. The problem is
the line, the
their-
offensive line.
Their
is-
offensive
Well, they
line
got
is
0
bad,
receivers besides
and
Edelman.
and like I said, Sanu has not worked out as well.
Yeah, I feel like
I thought he was going to be better.
I thought that as well. I was like, "Where's Sanu? Is he hurt?" And it's like,
No,
no,
he's there.
he's there. He's just not getting open. I think the big thing though is they've had a tight end, game breaker for so long. If you think back to Ben Watson, and then Gronk and other
Since
people
before Aaron Hernandez
Yeah,
was killing people.
and Aaron Hernandez, like they've always had some game breakers in the seams. And so Brady has been able to at least push vertically.
Oh, remember
through-
Ben Watson's still there again.
Well,
It's just not quite the
he's-
same.
But I mean, he's also like 75 at this point. But their vertical passing game is almost gone.
Yeah, but
whereas,
they won a Super Bowl without Gronk.
true, but Gronk
I think
still,
that was against the Falcons, right? He
Yeah,
didn't play against the Falcons.
He did not
Yeah.
play.
But at that point too, they also had a lot more receiving options.
They did.
They had a lot more receiving options. They had a few more, the like scat back running backs to help.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of that child's name. James White.
That
Yeah.
child.
James
I'm-
White's
I'm
still
getting
there.
older than everybody
Sony
now.
Michel is not good.
Yeah, he hasn't
Well, yeah.
done as much.
What happened to him?
Well, part of it with him is he can't catch.
Well, and outside of that, his last name is Michelle. It just makes things hard.
But that's his last name.
I mean, it just makes things hard.
I mean, shouldn't you go after his first name being Sony more so?
PlayStation is what it is. Michelle, like my whole life, and it's like, yeah, Michael, like no, it's Michelle. Like that would be a little difficult.
But that's his last name.
I mean,
So Richburg's out for the season for the Niners. Penny's out for the season for the Seahawks.
I saw that.
A lot of people going out.
It was a rough day yesterday. There was a lot of injuries.
Mike
Mahomes
Evans.
did hurt his hand yesterday too in the game. I don't know if you saw.
Yeah. Mike
So-
Evans pulled up lame yesterday too. That was a bad one.
His hamstring.
Yep. You could see it at the moment.
Well, so yeah, I mean they should probably shut him down anyway. But when you guys were talking about it, I was thinking it was something very serious. I don't know if it was
With
serious.
Mike Evans. Shut him down
Evans.
anyway. Mike Evans is too good.
No, not playing. For
Let him bring in a quarterback next year that doesn't give the ball away so much. Just tell anybody. Look at Johnny Manziel got a Heisman and drafted in the first round because he had Mike Evans. His offense was like, "Hey, Mike, go get this one.
Yeah,
let's see where I throw that. Jumping between 4 guys."
No. He didn't just get drafted. He won a Heisman.
Yeah, he won the Heisman
freshman year. First time freshman.
Yeah. Thanks to Mike Evans. Mike Evans should have got that Heisman.
Should be on stage with you.
Yeah, you should be like, there is no way I would be here. And people are like, oh, he's about to talk about Jesus. No, Mike Evans, get up here. I'm going to throw you this too.
The Father, the Son, and Mike Evans.
Oh my. Oh my.
Mike Evans definitely had the most to do with him winning that.
And then the Cowboys lost again, but they still maintain the lead.
Do they now with the
No, they still have the lead because the
beat
Eagles lost last week.
They played them. Yeah.
But the Eagles have a worse record.
No, they have the same record.
Yeah.
They have the same record, but Cowboys beat the Eagles.
Yeah, they're both 6-7 right now.
How many times can you lose 3 games in a row and still lead the division? It's pretty bad.
When you're in the
We're
NFC
gonna find
East.
out. Yep.
It's
really bad.
And they do play each other again. So if Eagles win out, they get the division.
Which is very
it's in their hands. It is in their palms.
Well, fly Eagles fly.
And I'm afraid we talked about the Eagles at the wrong time.
Oh no! Don't you dare!
On the road to victory.
No, your time is starting.
Fly, Eagles.
You beat a trash can.
No,
How you?
Eli was back.
Hold on. Oh,
No, let her.
Eli.
Let her. Oh, she has a minute 30 seconds.
Josh has the timer on.
Go, Desiree. Get all of it out, and then we got to cut
hold
you
on.
out.
I'm not calling to gloat. Number
Oh,
one.
please
Nothing to
don't.
gloat
Please.
about.
Understatement of the year. Are you going to the bathroom?
No,
I heard the toilet flush.
No. I'm in the car. What are you talking
You're
about?
going to the bathroom in the car?
Oh no, it's just a replay of the game tonight.
Oh no, you're cutting into her time. Go, Desiree. Go,
wow.
Desiree. Get everything out.
I get a reset.
You do
No.
not.
All I'm saying is this was trash. This whole game was ridiculous. It should never be like this. However, we're playing like trash. I really took a moment today, and I'm admitting that I took a moment and I sat back and I was like, week after week, I feel like we can always overcome, right? Overcome and play better and this and that and the third. It's not happening. We're playing like garbage. We need to rebrand. I don't know what we need to do, but we need to fix it. Because literally at 7 minutes and 22 seconds, we started playing football. And I was like, why is it taking us this long to actually play and catch? And it's baffling.
And one problem
really
is, you're running out of receivers.
We're out. Jeffrey went out. I was just looking at him like, dude, this is ridiculous. And yeah, we have one receiver left.
Yeah, you have
I don't even know
a
who he
below
really
average
is.
quarterback.
Can't catch like Aguilar.
We have one.
Like Aguilar.
Unlike Aguilar.
Like catching babies.
They should
Where am I
sign that
going?
dude.
I turned in the wrong freaking
They should
spot.
at least sign him for a day. Give him a day contract.
Give him a practice squad call up. See what
Yeah.
happens.
Stop it.
Wait.
Danielle,
What
but
was
this
the Vince Papali?
This is my.
Vince Papali.
You guys
That's
got to
not
start
nice.
getting the Rocky folks out and see what you got. See what's in the neighborhood. See what the neighborhood pool drafts up.
Yo, it took me to high school to know that Rocky wasn't actually real. So don't even.
Wow.
It was bad.
I mean,
I
it is
did.
sad
I
out there. You
argued
guys
with
got
somebody.
a real statue of him.
Hey, I
They
thought
kept it
Rocky
up there.
was-
They
Real
made it
statue
look
of
For
cool.
fake
real.
man.
So
He's
I
the
was
most
I was in
popular
high
boxer in Philly.
school. I was in high school. I was on a basketball road trip, and we were playing in the East Coast. And they were talking something was brought up. I can't remember what it was. And they were like, "That's why Rocky's not real." And I was like, "What? He's a legend!" Like that was full throttle.
Wow.
You know me. So yeah. And then someone's dad was like, "No, honey, it's not real. I'm from not Scranton, but somewhere up there. And he's like, baby, it's not real. I'm like, it is real. I've seen it. I've been there. Like,
I've
it was the
been
whole
there.
thing.
I've been there. I've seen the
Oh
statue.
no, you were in the studio. You were in the sound stage for
And
Rocky
she talked about Scranton. She just found out today that The Office isn't real.
What? That's not real?
She
It was a
thought-
documentary. I saw the whole crew.
Style. It's documentary style.
She went to get paper at Dunder Mifflin and
It's
it
a
didn't exist.
documentary.
She's trying to
I
fill up her
got
paper
it. I
stack.
have a T-shirt. I have
Oh,
a
my
T-shirt.
goodness.
No, but legitimately, now this is what I will say. This is my optimism coming through. I think this is a nice oomph. I think Wentz got a little bit more confidence finishing off like this.
You know it's
I
just
mean,
the
I
Giants,
know it's
right?
against the
You're
Giants.
talking about the worst
I know,
defense in
I
the
know, but-
league.
I know, but you're not hearing me. We've been
It was
playing like shit.
overtime.
I'm sorry. We're playing
Whoa.
like. Listen to me. We're playing like.
Desiree.
I know.
That's
I know, I know.
$5.
I'm sorry.
Cash app,
That's pizza.
cash sign,
No,
Quan,
no,
59.
no, I don't want
saying-
anything. I just want pizza.
I'm just saying we've been playing like trash. So to see a little and we're stopping third downs, we're playing defense. Okay, it's not perfect. It's not sugar and spice, but it looks
Not
a
anything
little
nice
bit
either.
better.
Did you say sugar and spice and
That's
everything
it.
nice?
That's
Get
it.
off the phone.
Way past it.
It's time
That's
for your
it.
bedtime. It's
That's it.
bedtime for
I'm
you.
going to bed.
It's bedtime for
I
you.
am. I'm just pulling up. I'm going to sleep. Oh,
Oh,
I'm so
no.
tired.
All
I
right,
can't take
Desiree.
it.
I will
Thank
say
you for
good
the
night
call.
to you and good night to the
Good
Eagles
night.
season.
Bye, girl.
Bye.
Wow. If you guys want to call in, hit us up 702-608-3259. I know we don't have a lot of viewers because the video is messed up, but we're still here. You could
It's tricky.
hear the audio.
We're not a video-based show.
I mean,
But Lord knows if I'm on it, it should not be video-based.
Oh gosh.
Dave, I've already let
true.
you know.
Don't say it.
Many in the female delegation are
You're
fans
just
of
being nice
Dave.
to me, but I'll take that because
I'm
I'm
not
never
nice.
nice to you, Josh.
Sorry, Dave. I've learned to deal with it.
Dave is the Regina King of our show.
What, the talented
Hey,
one?
Overrated.
Oh no!
Get out!
Oh,
Get
no!
out!
Regina
We're not
King's the
doing
most
this.
overrated
We're not doing this.
actress in Hollywood.
That's insane.
How does she have a lead role in a...
Wait a minute.
Gee, I don't
Now-
know. Let her show
now-
you her 3 Emmys and an Oscar.
Now,
and
wait a
Okay,
minute,
let
wait a minute, wait a
Macklemore
minute.
show you his Grammy.
It doesn't mean anything.
Macklemore won a Grammy over To Pimp a Butterfly.
Grammys don't mean a thing. Grammys are the
Awards
worst.
don't mean a thing.
Well, look,
Usually movies win that we've never heard of.
I'll put it to you like this: when Quan found out that she was the voice on Boondocks, he was a little he took a step back. He was like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah, she's the voice of both." He was like, "Oh,
I mean, I haven't watched Boondocks that much, so...
Boondocks, she's breathtaking on there. I can give her that. That
Breathtaking.
yeah.
She is super talented.
Wait, where did I get breathtaking from?
I have no idea.
Come on, Seinfeld. That baby is quite breathtaking.
Oh.
Dave knows.
I mean, I do
Yeah,
now.
Dave.
I just wouldn't have thought that, but...
Anyway, we can't do all this because then I got to talk about a show that's got too many spoilers and I can't talk about it.
It's about Watchmen. That they
You-
started
you
their
love
own chat
spoilers, by the
group.
way. We did.
Oh, I know.
I started it.
Quan told me, and then Quan said that he and I were starting our own, and I told him that's texting.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
an A to B
Yeah,
conversation.
why are you
texting.
doing this?
We have our
we
own group chat with just me and you.
We don't need our own.
We'll
group
start
chat.
our
We'll just-
own.
Start our own.
What?
To watch people.
I'll text you
What
right
would
now.
yours? What would you two have a chat about?
We chat all the time, actually.
But I mean, if you had a dedicated subject,
Oh, a dedicated
like this is a dedicated subject situation. Like we talk about Watchmen only.
Probably women.
Really? I don't feel like we talk about women that much. We try to get one.
Josh's face says different.
Trying to get one out of your house, but
Yo, wow.
Too much
Put a
on the
flamethrower on
air.
here. Can we
Back
edit?
it up.
how about the
Where's the
housekeeper?
7-second delay?
We're live.
How about the housekeeper?
Yeah, I've got one of those.
That was uncalled for.
I'm wiping my behind with hundreds.
But no, so you think women is the
You don't
is
have
the
a
answer?
housekeeper?
Move on.
What would you think the answer would be of you and Josh having a one subject
That's
conversation?
obviously not it.
That's
That's
not
obviously not it. Then apparently, what's something we
It's
agree
definitely
on?
not
Works,
basketball.
We don't agree on much.
You have to agree to have a conversation.
You don't want to talk about tennis. You don't want to talk about golf. We're not going
UFC
to
maybe
talk about it, but it's not like we
not to the point where we
sit and have a conversation.
maybe
about
you
it.
just couldn't have a one subject conversation.
We're not as cool as you guys, Dave.
It's not being cool, but I will say it is a great conversation.
I don't know if I
we
want
bring up a
friends
lot
with
of
a
theories and whatnot.
one subject conversation.
It's a great conversation.
You already know the way our group works. That trust me, it might start from "Did you see who died?" and then it gets into Steve talking about crap players.
Josh, why are you laughing?
Hey, on
It's a show.
Steve is very coherent on the Watchmen.
On the
one.
Watchmen show.
That tells you how good Watchmen is. It's that Steve is locked in. Locked in.
I mean, Steve's so locked in that he doesn't like Gal Gadot.
Oh,
I'm not with him on that one.
He doesn't think she should be Wonder Woman.
yeah, that's unfortunate.
She's not muscular enough to be Wonder Woman in Steve's
That's
eyes.
just unfortunate. I mean, could she, maybe put on 15?
She could, but
Like, I mean, for like her arms. I can understand where Steve's saying in terms of her arms and maybe her build.
no. But the picture he put up was a really, really built woman,
Yeah, she was still gorgeous.
built more than any of us.
That's not
That-
saying much.
That doesn't mean that I'm gonna find you any less attractive.
Oh, it does for me.
Yeah, no.
Muscle
long as-
definition is
No, muscle definition is fine. It's when
Mm.
it's when you start getting big. Like when you start getting big, that's when it's like
she was.
nah. She just had toned everything. Everything was lock, stock, and barrel. There's a difference.
I don't like muscle
that's
definition.
fitness.
Steve is just surprised that Hollywood decided to cast a very beautiful woman to be a star of now multiple movies.
Surprise, Steve. Oh, I'm gonna pull the picture up.
Maybe he's just anti-Semitic. I don't know.
I don't know.
She is Jewish, isn't she?
She's Israeli,
Yeah, she was in the Israeli army.
correct? Because you have to be.
Well, shut up, Dave. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Could you
little,
imagine if that's who you serve with? Really?
Little too yoked.
You're going through like
That's what I said. Like that's muscles. That's not just.
Well, when it gets up into your neck and your shoulder as a woman, starts
but
to
that's
change
what Steve's
things.
looking for.
I don't mind
That's
your
what Steve
back. Like
wanted.
I don't mind it when their backs blow up a little bit.
I don't like any muscle definition
'Cause-
in women.
I
Just
know
seriously, think about like Gal Gadot. You're like in basic training or
Here, I'll
whatever they start
show
with
the
it over
fans.
there. And like all of a sudden you look over and you're like, hold on, I'm serving in the military with like the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my
I will
life.
sign up for life.
I
It's like,
mean,
how long are you gonna be in? Me too. Whatever the answer is. We going AWOL today? Sure.
Well, I can say that I'm sure that they have a very, very pretty army in Israel. What?
Not-
Have you seen Israelis?
Yeah,
Holy
Gal
smoke!
Gadot.
No, well, trust me, she's average
Get out.
Oh my gosh!
in Israel.
Stop.
I
Bro.
don't
I don't
know
know
you want
about
to push her to
Bro.
average.
Average.
I think you could say that
Bro.
there's
Average.
a lot of beautiful women there
Bro.
without
There's some
calling her
ugly ones
average.
too.
Bro,
There's
listen,
ugly ones too.
listen to me.
There's ugly ones
yeah,
too.
sure. There's always ugly ones
Exactly.
too, but all I'm saying,
And the ugly ones are beautiful still. We're not judging.
beautiful for the earth. But no, listen,
Unless you're Lizzo at the Laker
like
game.
oh god, we haven't gotten there yet. But no, like seriously, flamethrower over there. It's a problem. Like completely, you feel like they're an alien. Like you obviously don't exist. That's the cradle of it's Africa. It's the cradle of civilization, all right in there. So yeah, that's just where they come from.
That's where everybody comes from, since it's the cradle of civilization.
Well, why wouldn't the prettier ones come from there first?
Sometimes.
There you go.
Every place has some pretty people. Some have more than others.
There you go. Some migrate from other
But
places.
then, I mean, beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
very
Exactly.
true. Very true.
And who's gonna be older?
And ugly is straight to the bone.
Wow!
Beauty is skin deep, but ugly is to the bone.
Wow!
Oh,
Yeah,
Speaking of
but
ugly,
anyway, that was a tangent.
there'll be some hate from me
Yeah.
on that one, but go ahead.
Regina King, Watchmen.
Somebody making comments.
No,
Oh, well, okay.
Nobody comments on her. I liked her though in 227. With Marla Gibbs, Jack A.
Hey, Mary.
Miss Mary.
That was a great show.
227 was a good show.
Wait,
It was a place to be.
who was that? Peter Griffin's like, you fat girl. I'll get you whatever you want.
All the young
Do you,
people
wait,
are
wait, wait,
tuning
what
out.
is this? You want a trunk of jams?
Jack A.
Wait,
Jack A was like a real thing there for like 5 minutes.
Oh my god.
For like 5 straight minutes, Jack A was like a big star. She dropped the last name and everything.
Ladybug's still one of my favorite movies of all time.
Don't
Favorite
know.
of all time?
Don't know.
That's one
Wow.
of my favorites. I love Ladybug's with Rodney Dangerfield.
And
where,
Jack
where,
A.
where he put the stepson in a
Don't know.
dress.
Don't know it.
Yeah, it's the classic sport dress somebody up. That's
No.
it.
You need to go see that.
I've seen Back to School.
I would say Back to School is better.
Back to School. Which one was that?
Rodney Dangerfield.
The one where he went
Back to
school. It's right there in the title, Josh.
Yeah.
That movie, actually, the first time we ever got cable in our apartment, way back in the day. That
How old are you?
43. I think that movie came out in 86, 87. So
Time out. You want to know apartment in 80? Oh, you mean with your mother? Sorry.
it wasn't my own apartment. It was a
Yeah,
family. It was a
he
family
should-
apartment.
No, but he made it sound like
This
that,
is
right?
when
That's why I was
this is when
tripping.
cable.
He wasn't chipping in on rent.
Yeah, that's why I was
This
like,
is
hold
when
on,
cable
wait a
was kinda
minute.
new.
Yeah, I got
It's
you.
like,
I
I'm
got
out,
you.
Rosalie. I got to go pay that rent.
I'm clear now. That's why I was like, whoa, wait a minute, bro. You're not that
No.
old. So I was trying to figure it out. I was like, wait a minute, that movie is old.
Oh, Mom work was real hard today at the
Starting out
sweatshop.
young. Had me working the chiclet stand at 9 years old.
You've been plugging up people's TVs for a long time, man.
But that movie was on Showtime like 5 times a day, so we would always watch it.
Yeah.
Oh, the movie rotations back in the day were
Were
not strong.
Oh, at all.
trash. It's like, oh yeah, you're gonna
They would
see
just
the
keep playing
same
them.
movie.
But when and we all watched a lot of bad movies on those, but when you catch a good one, man, you watch that thing over and over
Yeah.
again.
know every word. I watched Jackie Brown last night.
Well, that's a good
Jackie
one.
Brown is overrated to me.
Come
Really?
on.
I loved
I'm
it.
not saying
I
it's
loved
bad.
it.
What's
I'm
your
just
favorite
saying
part
it's
of Jackie
overrated.
Brown?
I
Give me
know
two.
mine. I know mine.
What's yours?
When Nero just kills her right out of the blue. Just that. It was like,
Don't say another word.
Like, don't.
Just don't say anything.
That's a great movie.
Okay, Lewis. Bah! Bah! That's my bro. That is
That did kill. I saw that in the theater, and I almost started
I
crying
feel
laughing when
like
that
we
happened.
went together.
It's very
'cause
possible.
I'm
That-
pretty sure we did.
that
I'm pretty sure. I'm certain
were
I saw it with
beautiful.
Todd.
Mhm.
I might have seen it with
you
you.
were
It
beautiful.
was all of us then, because Frank was there, I believe.
Probably.
I
But
think it-
I know I saw it with Todd. That's the one thing I do
Oh.
know for some reason.
Yeah,
That
I was definitely there with you guys.
hand in hand. That part. That's always a good one.
There were
That's
good
a
parts.
classic movie.
I'm just saying,
that's
like
a classic movie.
Samuel L. Jackson in
I'm
that
just
movie
saying
is
that
perfect.
Samuel L. Jackson in
Any
a
movie.
lot of Tarantino
He's
movies.
very,
knocks it out of the
very
park.
strong in that movie. Very strong.
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson was my second favorite part, but my favorite part is she just won't stop.
Yeah, that. Is it over here, Lewis? Lewis? Oh, he's like, just don't say anything else. Like,
I knew
really
something
mean it.
bad was going to happen, but I did not see that coming. I just remember sitting there like, oh, she probably should have stopped.
That's probably one of my favorite moments.
I think overrated is probably, I probably was a little too strong
All
with
right.
that. But
was.
All right, there you
like
go.
some people say it's like their favorite movie or his best movie, and I don't
no,
think either
of
no,
those
those
no,
things
things
no,
is
is
no.
best,
It's not his
but
best, but it's
good.
definitely it's
And I feel like it's different than all his other movies. That's why I
Yeah.
like it in a different way.
yeah.
It's not the slow dialogue like most of his other movies. There is still that in it, but not the same.
I feel
more
like
action.
it's very authentic in terms of how people talk. I was reading an article on it yesterday, and Roger Ebert was just talking about how open the dialogue was. Like it actually felt like people were having conversations versus actually really acting and trying to take you somewhere. That was what I really always liked about it. But yep, that was my movie last night till about 3 a.m. Don't ask why I was up at 4
Why were you up at 4 a.m?
watching Jackie Brown. Once you started, it's like I started at like 12 midnight. You're
You could
resigned
have
to
watched
your fate.
Watchmen and saw 4 episodes.
Yep, and I watched Jackie Brown and enjoyed my night.
You don't know
wait,
what
you're not
about.
a fan of Regina either?
I don't.
You don't know
mind
what you're
Regina.
talking about. He has
I
not
don't
seen a
mind
second of the
Regina,
show.
But I don't. Like I said, as the character that she's portraying, it just was that already struck me wrong. And then
What are you talking about?
The amount of Rorschachs. I don't like all these.
You don't know what you're talking about, though.
Apocalyptic Rorschach.
You're about
You
to make
don't
Dave spoil
know
it.
what you're talking
You're about
about.
to make Dave spoil it. and
I'm not gonna. I don't spoil things, but you don't know what you're talking about.
I can
Watch
I
the
can-
show.
I can say that I don't.
Watch the show.
I have
and
no
get back to me.
I have no problem saying that I don't know what I'm talking about.
Listen, and I'm going to admit on air, I've been trolling Dave like crazy with this whole Regina King thing.
Because I think she's a very talented at her job.
Todd's like, do you really hate Regina King? I'm like, no.
No, he just knows that I get upset when you demean people that are that talented.
Todd's,
She's
There are
all
not
right.
that many talented people.
She's all right.
Todd's been dying. And he's like, in the group chat, Dave keeps saying, Mark is wrong about Regina King.
I make sure to say Mark every time,
she's
too.
She's okay.
You're
I
Mark
don't-
on that group chat. I can promise you that.
I'm not a super fan of hers.
I'm
Outside
not a
of
super
Boondocks.
fan either. I just think she's really talented. It's not like I watch everything she does.
I was about to say, what's something else that she was really good at?
Leftovers. None of you
Okay.
watched that either.
I watched some of that, but I didn't
not.
get it all the way.
She was
into
in the
that.
second. She was in the second season, and she
Okay.
was great.
I
She was
wanted to
great.
punch her in the face in Jerry Maguire.
That was so long ago. And what was wrong with her and Jerry Maguire?
She was whining.
She
and
wanted
just
Jerry to get the
Ugh.
man paid.
What? Give me something else. What's another great movie she was in?
She's been in a lot of different random stuff. I'm
Come
not
on.
saying I know. If I look
He
at
couldn't
things, I
name
will
5
come up
movies
with more.
yesterday.
You came up with Leftovers.
Leftovers is a great
Just-
show.
It is, but just the name itself
tremendous show.
let me know everything I needed to know about the rest.
You don't know what you're talking about. Once again, y'all are talking out of an orifice that's name I
You're
cannot
not
say
telling
right
the-
now.
I'm going to watch it soon, and I'll probably like it.
If you don't
But it's
like
hard.
it,
It's so hard for
if
me
you
to
don't
start
like it,
a
I will be
series.
surprised.
But if he
It's so
likes
hard
it,
for me to start a
if
series.
he likes it, he will not let you all know.
Yeah. Oh, wait, I know that.
Yeah, well-
he will not give you the satisfaction.
No,
of saying
even
he likes
today
it.
when I said I watched the first 20 minutes, I couldn't handle it. I didn't even push play yet.
Dude, the strangest,
He was going crazy.
the craziest
it's
thing
so
to
easy
me
to make
is
Dave go
that,
crazy.
the craziest thing to me is that like white people made like the blackest show on TV. Watchmen is possibly the
oh.
blackest show on TV.
Really?
Yes, I kid you not.
Wow.
It will surprise you.
Fair enough. That might be why Steve's so into it.
Oh, that is why Steve's so into it. I can promise you that.
Are there guns involved?
There are definitely guns
Okay.
involved.
Steve's
Lots and
favorite
lots
show.
of guns.
There's Black History. There's guns.
Oh, it's got some Black history in
that's-
there?
Yeah, it starts with the Tulsa Massacre, for God's sake. Oh, look it up.
I don't know that one.
We don't
Know
want to go
anything-
that deep in
You
that
know
one.
anything about Rosewood? All right. Don't take me there. I can't know every black
Hey,
fact.
I didn't even say anything. You're getting offended for no reason.
Sheesh.
Don't be so defensive.
What are you getting? What are you getting?
I might have
Be so
known.
defensive, we
I
didn't
might
even
have
say
known
anything.
it might be called something else. Never know.
I think it may have another name. That's the only way I've ever heard of it.
Yeah.
This is probably the only way it's called.
Oh man, this is a sports show and comedy and pop culture. So if you guys don't like what we're talking about, we don't care tonight because our video is not working that good. Let's jump into the NBA.
Thank God.
Josh Jackson got suspended a game from the G League. Why is this guy in the G League? He was one of those players
Because he's not
Can't
good.
miss.
that was like he could be one of the
Hold
first
up.
picks.
Hold up. I never thought he was can't miss. I
Yeah.
didn't think he was good at Kansas.
Well, no. Remember when we saw him at Summer League? When I saw him at Summer League, I was like, "Oh no, he's
No,
not that."
they were hyping him up in the draft. And
yeah,
He's just an athlete. He's not a basketball player.
they were talking about trading up for him, and you know
That was crazy talk.
maybe that's who Philly wants, and that's why they traded up and all this stuff. And man, he's we talk about Lonzo Ball in that draft.
he's having a tough
This
go. of
guy's
it.
horrendous. He's in the G League
He's just not
in his
good.
third year.
He's not
The-
good at basketball.
The thing that sucks about the G League is it's so much of a stigma if you are that high of a pick that I think for everything that's good that it should be helping you with, it ends up really, really killing your confidence.
You can't send a top pick there. Like
Yeah,
the whole
it's-
thing when now Fultz has started to really turn it around. He's
He
playing
has,
well.
He has.
But like the whole thing was they couldn't put him in the G League. because they put him in the G League. He was shot.
He'd never
It's
come
so
back.
good for so many players.
Yeah.
But like a top 10 pick, I wouldn't even say top 10, a top 5 pick.
Top 5 for sure.
Top 5, unless you're like.
When Hakeem Thabit went down there, I was like, he ain't never coming back.
Well, first off, Hasheem Thabit should have never been a number 2 pick. Should have never been a number 22 pick.
He was
should
a
have
number
never
2
been a number
pick.
42
He was
pick.
a number 2 pick for whose team?
Memphis.
Oh, all right. I thought it was. I know he ended up in OKC.
Oh, that was way later.
But you know who OKC took? James Harden.
That was a very, very, very good move.
They could have taken
They were
Steph
like,
Curry.
Oh, pick me.
I actually wanted Steph Curry.
Pick me.
I wanted Steph Curry.
You wanted Steph?
Yes.
Well, in hindsight, probably wouldn't have been a bad. Well,
His ankles probably never would have worked out.
well, but no. Wait a minute. If you would have had Steph, you also had Russ at that point.
Correct. But Steph would have been just fine.
He would have been fine, but I don't know if I don't. That's one of those unanswerable.
There was
questions.
a time in Golden State that they were talking about trading Steph.
and remember they ended up
Instead
there
of-
instead of what's his name, Monte Ellis.
Monte Ellis.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
right.
wild. Like that
To-
was real legit talk.
The Bucks actually had a choice
Yeah.
where they could have had either one,
Wow.
and everybody, myself
Monte was a
included, and I
baller.
love Steph,
Monte was killing.
but it was also Steph's ankles were like he might not be in the league in a couple years.
Yeah.
Man, that's
It's wild.
I'm so happy that he was able to. Well, he changed his entire workout regimen, and
Well,
he got those ankle braces.
And realistically, a lot of things fell correctly because his ankles were part of the reason they could make that whole team because Steph was so drastically underpaid
Yeah.
because he was making $10 million a year, which I know for people is like, oh, it's a lot of money, but it's like not for an
Well,
NBA
not for
player
NBA,
of his
yeah.
caliber. He was winning back-to-back MVPs at $10 million a year. He was underpaid, like by a lot.
Vastly underpaid. Oh, in a league where Mike Conley's getting $40 million. Yeah, $10 million. That's
Oh,
not right.
man. Can we
Mike
talk about
Conley
Mike Conley?
Bad this year.
Listen, man, this was Utah was being hyped up because they made some really good moves over the summer.
I was one of the people. I
They
thought
did-
they were
they
gonna be
looked
really
They
good.
didn't
good.
grab any superstars, but they grabbed players because it was already an up-and-coming team. When you get somebody like Mike Conley, Ricky Rubio wasn't fitting with them. He fits perfectly with Devin Booker out there in Phoenix right now.
He does fit perfectly. I mean, with Booker, he has changed Booker's career.
Which I feel like they could have used him different maybe in Utah to be able to be that a little more with Spider.
See, I don't know because Booker is a much better shooter. I mean, I think Mitchell is a good overall player. I think Booker's overall a better player.
Yeah. And I think he needed a point
Maybe
guard
not
because
defensively.
he does need to be the guy to always have the ball in his hands.
No, their whole thing with him at point guard last year, that was a recipe for disaster. Devin Booker is not a point guard.
No, Devin Booker.
Yeah,
Donovan Mitchell also.
same thing.
But Donovan Mitchell is far more of a point guard than Devin Booker is. Devin Booker is not a point guard and should not be a point guard.
Now, I wasn't high on Mike Conley. Like, he's been good. He didn't play a lot last year
Yeah,
in Memphis. He's not any younger. I mean, he's an older player. So,
yeah. I mean, Mike Conley's what, 30? He's definitely at
So
that 30
he's the
range.
same age as Kevin Durant.
Yeah, because he's the same draft.
Yep.
Same draft, all one and done.
yeah.
So he's. I mean, Greg Oden is about 30, 31. So should be right there.
He's and they were in school together
Yeah,
completely.
Same time.
Questions on Oden's age.
Yeah.
Greg Oden is
He's 31 in
Gonna-
Ohio State.
tell us bedtime stories about the old days.
Benjamin Button.
But it hasn't worked out so far, and I'm not sure. I mean, it's 2 months into the season. I'm not sure if he'll turn it around, but he's struggled a lot in Utah. And Utah just isn't where everyone was thinking they were going to be. They thought this was going to help, elevate them to a different level.
I was one of those people.
And we can even look at Denver and say, have people figured them out? I know some Denver fans
I
that
can
are
tell
saying
you what Denver is.
I have some Denver Nugget fans that are saying that want Mike Malone out, which I don't agree with.
That's
that.
crazy. No,
But
you need out.
They're saying that
Who do you need out?
Whoever is not doing strength and conditioning for Jokic, because Jokic came in out of shape.
Well,
That is what is wrong with that team.
Jokic is
But
not
at the
only
same time,
he's not only out of shape, but I was talking to somebody about this the other day. They also don't have a secondary star that actually can really pull on Jokic and be like, "Hey, bro, like I need you."
and you have Jamal
do
Murray
this.
that is
Good, like
Canadian.
he's a
Good,
B.
he's right here,
He's
you
a
know?
B
He's
player.
Canadian.
He's a very good B player. Like he's a He's a good NBA player.
He
but
can't
not
be
a
your
smart.
second best.
Yeah,
Not your
well,
second best.
Well, I mean, he can be if Jokic is at a super level. If Jokic
And
is out
Jokic
here
did
playing,
not come in at a better level.
if he's coming in at an MVP level, you can have 3 really high B level players that actually be functional.
Well, and that's what they did last year, I think.
Yeah.
100%. That's the team they were.
Yeah.
And that's who they can be again. Jokic will get in better shape.
Will he?
I think he will.
I mean, in season, or do you talk about
In
just
season.
in general?
In season.
Yeah, you have to do it in season. There's no other All-Star break.
But I mean,
No, but I mean like next year.
Oh,
no. It's something that like we're just
oh
like,
no,
well, he'll
I
get it
think he
around.
learned a tough lesson this year, in that you
Hopefully.
have to put a lot more work into your body, because he does not look the same as last year. And last year, he's never going to be a guy who's in phenomenal shape, but you can tell he is way worse off than he was last year.
Yeah.
Hands down.
And listen, they're not horrible. They're still 14-7, but I think they've lost some games they shouldn't have lost.
Correct.
And I think that's the problem.
They'll be okay. But I mean, if you also look at it, I mean, not that divisions mean that much in the NBA, but that division is tough. I mean, Portland is getting crushed by everybody.
I haven't looked at divisions. When I look at standings, I don't even look at divisions.
No?
I haven't done that for
But
years.
I mean, that division, Portland is the worst team in that division. You have OKC, who's around 500. You have Minnesota, who's been playing well.
Yeah.
You have Utah, who's struggling a little bit. And
Denver.
they're all disappointing, but none of those teams Portland might be bad this year.
They're not
actually.
disappointing to me because Portland isn't. They've just been hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, every single player has been hurt and missed games
so
already.
much so that they had to go get Melo.
Melo has played well
Which,
for them, though.
I mean,
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
huge.
But
But
he's giving them an
Friday
option,
night,
another
we
option.
saw Rodney Hood. He
Tore
fell
his
down.
Achilles.
Nobody was around him, and
Tore his
you all know
Achilles.
when that happens what it is, and it's just sad seeing that so much.
That is the saddest one. The non-contact basketball injury
Yep.
is
Scary.
Because you know exactly what it is, and,
Yep.
and it sucks seeing a play. You want these players to be able to play. When you sprain an ankle, cool, you miss a couple weeks, you might need that rest anyways. But with this, you're out guaranteed for a year. All that rehab, I can't even imagine that.
But I know this is kind of off on a tangent here, but when we're talking about injuries, don't the amount of injuries and rest, and when we see guys like Kawhi who are just not quite right anymore, man, you really got to give it to James Harden. He never gets hurt.
Yeah, and especially
Ever.
for the amount of going to the basket. You can
Yeah.
say what you want about all his antics and everything else, but he hits the ground a lot. He takes a lot of falls.
Well, and that's what
I was
took
about to
Dwayne
say,
Wade out.
That's what
Yeah.
took. That's what shortened Dwayne
that
Wade's career.
style of
Part
play
of it
took
is-
out Dwayne Wade.
Is Harden is just he's so solidly built
Yeah,
that he just takes hits.
and can shoot.
He's also smooth the way he gets to the basket, though, so he doesn't take as many hits as someone like Iverson.
He doesn't take those jarring,
Yeah.
those really just I'm gonna shock your whole body.
Well,
hits.
no, and the funny thing, he goes to the hole on one of two moves.
Yeah.
And those two moves on the best defenders in the world, in the best league in the world, he gets
Still
past
works.
anybody.
Still work.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I see this with guys getting hurt all the time and load management. KD's out for the year. Clay's out for the year. All these other guys
Kawhi's
get
out for
hurt.
half the year.
Kawhi may never be right again. And here's James Harden. I play every game. I don't get hurt.
Listen, it's crazy that Kawhi is not right and still out there and that's scary.
It
to think
is.
if he actually was.
But with him not being right, now I have questions about the contract he signed because he didn't sign a huge contract. I feel like with him not being right, he should have signed a huge contract.
Well, he signed a
He
huge
has
contract, but he didn't sign a long
He has
contract.
a two.
He has a
He has
2
a
plus
2 and
1.
2. 2 plus
Yes,
1
2
or
plus
2 plus 2.
It's, I think 2 plus 2.
I thought it was
plus-
2 plus 2.
No,
I
it's
think,
2
I think
plus
he's
1.
2 plus
Okay.
1. He's 2 plus 1. Yeah.
But that kind of surprises me seeing how he is right now because I think you're right. He could play in increments, but I don't think we'll ever see him play an actual season.
Yeah, just go at for it.
And so they're giving him his own personal ring ceremony when they play in Toronto on Wednesday. He might not even be there.
no,
He might load manage.
But
Who
yeah,
knows?
but
It's
he might not
Kawhi.
play.
It's Kawhi. We don't
He
know.
might not play, but he'll show up for that.
It's Kawhi.
Oh,
We
that's
don't know.
horrible. I would hope that he would be there.
I would think a lot less of him if he didn't show
He'll
up
show
for
up.
that.
Yeah.
Because realistically, the
He'll
man
show
deserves
up.
his own
I
ring
was being
ceremony because that
sarcastic.
man won a title.
He won the ring.
He won a title.
Thank you, Toronto.
Your city
I'm
can
out.
be mad that he left, but he should be.
They won't be
They're-
mad.
they're not mad.
There's
he
zero
should-
chance.
I was going to say.
They're
He should be
Disappointed,
free in
upset.
Toronto forever.
They're sad. They're sad that he left, but in the end,
They would
he
have
gave,
never
he
got a
gave
ring
them
without
something
that.
that city hadn't had since '92.
Well, and
So-
also, the Raptors were never winning a title.
Yeah.
Not with Lowry and DeRozan.
No, not as presently
not
constructed.
not
No.
this team. But who knows?
But it
Who
makes
knows?
you sad, but it also makes you commit. LeBron till last year, I mean, just these guys that don't get hurt. Somehow,
Speaking of hurt,
Stay
Patrick
healthy.
Mahomes has not broken his hand.
Yeah, no.
They just said that.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
but it just I see guys go down all the time.
Yeah.
And you're just like, how do there's only like 2 guys who are just like,
Machine. Lord LeBron's one too.
but they're
That's-
also guys that have the
that's-
ball in their hands as much as anybody in the league.
Take as much contact and are aggressive towards contact. And
LeBron, you almost understand it more because
Well,
he
he's
doesn't
on
look like the same.
HGH.
Well, I mean, yes,
Just-
he's definitely on some sort of performance enhancer, but he's not getting caught for it. So God bless him.
Or checked.
He's on that.
Yeah.
He's on that super clear from.
Well,
He's good.
Here's
from-
what we do
from-
know
from
for him
the
is
next
for his
gen
human.
Falco.
He's probably had 0 drug tests in the last 10 years.
Oh yeah, they're not drug testing.
No, they have
LeBron.
drug tests.
Sure.
No,
Sure.
But I mean, Olympics, he has to have them.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, Russia.
You really think they're sending?
They just
That's-
banned Russia
that-
for the first time. And
No,
how long
no,
have they
two
been?
times? Two
Okay,
times.
well,
They just banned them
I'm
in 18.
guaranteeing you, they're not.
And this was actually
The
a
World
carryover.
Anti-Doping
Okay.
people,
Yeah.
the NBA PA ain't letting them anywhere near their players. Get out of here. You think LeBron James is getting Olympic level drug tests?
Hold on, wait a minute. What time
Get
is it?
out. I don't believe it.
Hold on. I might be able to get someone on that. Give me a second.
You
Give me
can,
one second.
yeah, you can get somebody on that, but
I gotta.
anyways, we got a call right now. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Kevin from Chicago.
What's up? How's it going?
How y'all doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
Doing good.
Pretty good. You know what I want to talk about is talking about LeBron James. Man, people are saying he's MVP. Man, he's not even the MVP on his own team. Anthony Davis is the MVP on his own team.
I'd agree with
So
that.
that's one thing. Like when you got another top 5 player on your own team, you're out of the discussion. Right now, I got Giannis number 1, I got Luka number 2, and I got Harden number 3.
I'm right there with you.
I don't hate that. And I do think, and I mentioned that to someone today when he was saying Anthony Davis is going to be the MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. I'm like, he'll be Defensive Player of the Year so far, but MVP, you're right. I think LeBron and him cancel each other out in a way because they're sharing stats. They're sharing rebounds. They're sharing some points. But, for the fact of them both being as high as they are in rebounds and points, LeBron leading the league in assists, it's pretty amazing. But you're right. I mean, Giannis's numbers, if you want to say AD versus Giannis in the MVP race, Giannis is averaging a good, 3 to 4 points more and averaging like 4 rebounds more than Anthony Davis. So his stats all around are better. I think with Milwaukee having the same record as the Lakers, I think 20-3, 21-3, I would give it to Giannis right now too, but they are right there. I think it is, there's a good 5 people in that race right now, but I think you're right with that.
Yeah, my only thing is because you got LeBron and AD, they're both top 5 players. It's like, it reminds me of Golden State. It's not nearly as bad as Golden State where you had like freaking 4 All-Stars on your team as starters. Giannis is doing it with nobody. Who's his, Middleton? That's his next best player.
Probably.
Luka's doing it with Porzingis, he's a shell of himself. He's still recovering back from injury.
Yeah, he's not even back yet all the way.
Yes. I mean, you got AD and LeBron. They're freaking top of the food chain.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I don't think they should be in the mix. I think it should be Harden, Luka, and Giannis. My second point, I want to get your thoughts on Ryan Tannehill because I think he's got a really interesting story, the way he's kind of battled back. People wrote him off. They thought he was a joke. He's some journeyman. And, man, he's looking really good, surprising me. I think that he's going to make the playoffs. He's going to take that Houston spot. What do you guys think?
I wouldn't disagree with that at all. Well, one, Derrick Henry's a big help there, but two, Tannehill he looks like a totally different player than what we saw in Miami.
Well, I mean, look, Tannehill in Miami, he had a season where he actually looked pretty good, and then he had, I believe, the knee injury. Didn't he? I feel like he tore his ACL.
Yeah, he had 1 year when he was out.
He had a year where, in those ACL injuries, as much as everyone tries to act like, it's medicine is advanced so much that we can just bounce right back, and these guys are superheroes. It takes people years to legitimately come back, and sometimes people never come back. It's not so much that the skills diminish, but you also have to have trust in your body and what your body can and can't do. Tannehill was, if you remember back in the Luck and RG3 year, he was the third quarterback, and a lot of people actually said that Mike Shanahan wanted Ryan Tannehill over RG3. And a lot of that was because he could do a lot of the similar things. But, to your point, I think that they have a great opportunity to overtake the Texans. The Texans took a horrible loss yesterday, and I'm not sure if they're going to play each other again, but they're going to have a chance to stake their claim on it. I mean, the Titans can't lose with Tannehill under center right now.
I forget. Did Tannehill beat Mahomes? Was he injured during that time when he beat the Chiefs? Forget.
I think I'm pretty sure he beat Matt Moore.
Yeah. I don't think he beat Mahomes. Mahomes hasn't had many losses this year.
Yeah.
As bad as they've played, he still hasn't taken many losses.
Okay. I'm interested because he's playing Houston twice now, and they come down to that last game. I think honestly, I think he's going to come down to that last game, and it's going to have a fun end of the season because it's probably going to come down to the last game with Seattle and the Rams and the 49ers, that whole little mix-up.
Yep.
I think that might come down to the last game. Pretty interesting end of the season, but I'll let you guys get to it. Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks, man. Thanks for the call, man. We appreciate it.
Chi-Town in the house.
Yeah. Appreciate it. I mean, he's right, man. And I don't want to jump all the way back into the NFL, but the playoffs aren't even close to being set yet, so it's really interesting. All right, back in the NBA, what were we talking about? And what do you guys think about that whole MVP thing that he was bringing up?
My top three would be probably. I mean, personally,
he's going with Luka.
I think I said Giannis will win. I would like Luka to win. But Giannis is going back to back. Yeah, Giannis, Luka, Harden seems like exactly how the order would go.
It's going to be tough to take it from Giannis just because Giannis doesn't have that marquee star with him,
and his team might have gotten better.
Yeah, like James Harden, even when he won, he still had Chris Paul.
I mean, Milwaukee's 21-3 right now, and Lakers are 21-3. But like he said, with 2 top 5 players.
Yeah.
But with LeBron leading the league in assists, I think if his rebounds get up more. He's not rebounding great.
But we might be able to get some love.
That Milwaukee team also put a beat down on the Clippers, and Kawhi was playing.
Yeah,
and PG was playing. But like I said, his caller Kevin, his top 3 in MVP is how I think if MVP went down right now.
Yeah,
that's where it is. But yeah, neither LeBron nor AD can win with each other. That was way too hard.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you have more games where LeBron gets tossed and AD gets 50.
Or where LeBron just decides, like, let me try to help him get the MVP, and I'm going to average 15 assists a game and really lower my points. But at the same time, that's not the way the Lakers are playing. They're playing very unselfishly, and that's why they're winning like they are, because the whole team is buying into the system. And they're buying into their role. Kuzma's the only one I see on the Lakers that is kind of struggling.
But didn't I always say? I mean, and I could by the end of the season be wrong. Now I was wrong about the rest of the Lakers role players, but I thought there wasn't
KCP
really a
is
spot.
playing out of his mind right
He
now.
is.
He's doing really well.
I
I mean,
very
that's how he
confident.
should be playing.
Very confident in that,
Yeah.
and his confidence has risen because he's taking shots. He's been given opportunities
He's
to take
playing
shots,
his role.
and he's making those shots.
But that's
Playing his role.
And see, that's my thing with Kuzma is I thought even before the season, once they got Anthony Davis, that I don't see where Kuzma fits on that team.
Yeah,
He fits as a sixth man, and I think if he realized that, he could be sixth man of the year.
And that's the thing
because
is-
they need that off the bench, and
Yeah.
he's not giving that yet. He has been playing a lot better lately.
yeah.
He came back from an injury. He missed, the whole summer. He missed training camp. He missed preseason. He missed 3 or 4 games. So
He honestly is in position. To
I want
be
to
a
wait
sixth
till
man.
after All-Star break to actually judge where he's at. But if he is still playing timid like this and not really,
embracing.
I mean, he's played
what
better
it
since he
is.
cut that mop off too.
Oh, I was so happy to see
Yeah,
that go.
but I also think the thing with Kuzma that you're looking at is
Uh-oh. Jerome said he just called. Hold on.
Oh,
Well, call him back.
But no, I just think Kuzma is kind of.
what were we talking to him about?
About the drug testing.
Okay, yeah.
Did you call him? There it
Oh.
is. Yep, you're good.
Hello.
Yo, you're live on the air.
Hey, this is JYD, Jerome Williams.
Hey, what's good, bro?
We've been waiting for this.
Come on, man. Come on now. Dog pound's in the house.
Dog Pound, we're trying to get you in the studio. I keep bugging Josh. And I meant to tell you ask you last year when I saw you at what game was that? UNLV?
Man, keep it to the point of the conversation.
No, we're trying to get you in the studio, but go ahead, Josh. What was the?
Jerome, so we had a quick comment. We were talking about NBA drug testing as far as for performance enhancing drugs or any kind of drug testing. Can you tell the listeners kind of what that protocol looks like in the NBA? From the beginning part of your career and then kind of as it advanced as your career got old, later on in the years.
Yeah, it's always been a standpoint of the player and the makeup of his body, and they look at whatever how the player comes in and his body type. So you can't turn into Lou Ferrigno over the summer. Like that's gonna get a drug test. You can't be skinny mini 1 minute and then 6 months later look like you throwing bricks on your shoulder.
That initial Kobe change of his body. Look at my new muscles. That might have raised a few eyebrows way back in the day.
Hey, you might have to piss in a cup. You will have to go and give your donation, your sample, because they want to check that out. It's for the love of the game, right?
And there was a Photoshop with Alex Caruso this summer of the Lakers. He put out some workout pictures. Someone photoshopped it, and he got a drug test the next day.
Really?
Yeah.
Got a drug test the next day. They don't go for that, right? It just doesn't make sense. It's not physically, biologically, looks like it doesn't pass the sniff test. Oh, yeah, you're going to have to piss in a cup.
Now,
That's the way it works.
Now, from what you're saying, I would have one question kind of shooting off of that. Now, what if somebody was maybe using performance enhancers before they got to the league? So their body type has already even though they're younger, starting to make changes. Do you think that they would have an easier possibility of maybe getting away with some stuff?
Well, no, I don't think so, because at the end of the day, if you're playing in the league and your test comes up positive for any of those, enhancers, you're flagged. And and I've always said this in basketball, performance enhancing drugs can also hinder your game, because at the end of the day, our game isn't enhanced by bulk.
Yeah.
It actually will slow you down, make your muscles stiffer. So, you need your muscles to be fluid in basketball for running, for jumping, for shooting. Big shoulders don't work, unless you're like a power guy and you use your shoulders but at the end of the day, it's gonna tighten up your arms. So you won't get full extension, So that's the one thing about, in performance enhancing drugs, really not helping, basketball players. That's why you don't really see us out there,
doing it. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Now, what about stuff like HGH? So maybe or things that can possibly help people recover faster.
Right. Now that's something that, that's what they really, test for the most part, is really the recovery, for stuff that, they know it's supposed to take you 8 weeks to come off the injury and you're done in 2. They you're going to have to piss in the cup, buddy.
The Kobe centrifuge over in Italy didn't raise any eyebrows. Huh? That was okay. He just
centrifuge is different now. He was using some deer musk or something. I don't know what he used.
Deer musk.
Hey, but that's legal.
Yeah.
Whatever is Germany doing, that's legal.
Right.
When you take a pill, you're gonna have to piss in the cup.
Right. But they take your blood out of your body over there, spin it around and put it back in.
Put it back
some craziness.
Inject it in the side of the.
They spin it. They make a concoction, a special German formula that's legal. Give it back to you. Yeah.
Wow.
And Kobe was honest. He's like, I'm going to Germany. They said, okay.
Yeah. What were they gonna say at that point? He's gonna go do something that's legal in the country he's doing it in.
Man. Well, Jerome, I know this is way past your bedtime, so I thank you very much for calling back in. And as Quan said, you always are have an open chair.
Come to the studio, man. Jerome.
Hey, it's the best sports show ever. Y'all keep doing it, holding it down. Dog hand.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jerome. So,
well, that's better than our crazy conjecture that we throw out there from somebody who actually has had to be drug tested.
You gotta have the drug test calls in. Kobe. I keep telling people, Kobe has when he had the Achilles. Kobe he just got his whole foot amputated. He has a white man's foot. You do know that, right? He just went and was like, take the foot, just give me a cadaver's foot, and we're gonna make this thing happen.
Why would he want a white man's foot?
Hey, that's all they have.
That's all they have available.
They don't have African cadaver feet.
At the time.
It's always. He's got a different shade of shaded foot. His left foot is off.
It's possible.
We haven't seen him.
He's got a Frankenstein foot.
We don't know the technology that's really out there. We just don't know.
Off. It's a totally different ballgame.
I'm even from talking to somebody who's actually been through the testing. I'm always skeptical because the thing you always read, you always see in interviews is the people cheating are always ahead of the test.
Yeah.
And for most parts, when you see the people who come out after the fact and say it, it's usually if you're getting caught for performance enhancers or other things like that, you're just dumb or you have dumb people around you.
Yeah. Well, Jerome was telling me too, in terms of marijuana testing and different things, a lot of times they would give guys warning.
Somebody might be coming.
Well,
Zach
Randolph.
So Zach Randolph, Jerome's last year in New York, they were at Jerome going bad when I told this story. When they were in they were in New York, right? And it was preseason. And so Zach was in the club and he was like, yeah, season's about to start. Let me go ahead and hit this blunt right quick. I gotta get this in before the season happens. And Jerome was like, it's gonna be a long year.
You just knew already.
It's gonna be a long season. This isn't good. He was like, this ain't gonna go over well. So it just it kind of just.
I don't think anybody's gonna be that surprised that Zebo smoked some weed.
Hey, no, but
they
that
got
was
caught in Portland all the time. Who was he with? Damon Stoudemire.
Rashid.
They got pulled over.
Rashid.
And they opened the windows and it was just all smoke.
But also that was also Zach before he really realized what he could be in the league.
Right.
That was
him in Memphis.
Ooh,
that was
baller,
a totally
man.
different. Well, him and
that's one of those players
Portland,
that people aren't going to remember him unless you were really a diehard NBA.
Yeah.
But that
or
dude,
you're from Memphis.
He was unstoppable.
Yeah, no,
he was unstoppable.
Legitimately, that grindhouse was real.
And not only was he unstoppable, but he did not leave the floor.
No.
He had an old school game. He had post moves.
Yeah.
He could actually shoot.
His daughter
and
is going to be a problem. I'm just letting you know that right now. Yeah. I saw she plays on Kobe's daughter's team.
Oh, nice.
They played right before my girls' championship game a couple weeks back.
Dope.
And she's skilled. She's not left-handed, So I know he wishes
That was an
she
extra thing he
Yeah,
had.
yeah. If she was left-handed, if you're a left-handed girl, oh, good Lord.
Huh.
You're murdering everything. So
Isn't Del Don left-handed?
no.
No.
Why did I think she was?
Lane is right-handed.
That's why she looks so smooth. Left-handers look awkward sometimes.
Sometimes. James Harden has a pretty shot. Like a lot of times, left-handed people, I'm like, I always can tell, like, oh, there you are, you're left-handed.
Yeah.
Jalen Rose, perfect example.
Yeah.
Jalen had an ugly shot his
Oh
whole
my
career.
goodness, like
We got another caller live on the air. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Man, you guys talking NBA? Gotta get another thing to chime in real
All right,
quick.
jump back in, bro.
Okay,
Hey, what's your name again?
This is Kevin.
Kevin. All right.
Kevin.
Kevin from Chicago.
Yep. I watched that Sacktown game. How about that big dude? What's his name? Neil Lisa?
Bielitsa.
Oh, Bielitsa, yeah.
Yeah, hit the
Bielitsa.
game winner tonight against Houston.
Yeah, big shot right there.
I saw him torch up Dallas Mavericks a couple of days ago. And then he comes back, hits a game winner against Houston. The Sacramento team's got some decent talent. Let's see if they can pull it together. I'd like to see them start making a run. They got good players on their team.
Well, yeah, they're
A lot
doing
of
all this without
NBA.
Bagley, too.
Well,
Yes, they are.
in
Doing it
Sacramento
without
actually starting off without a win. I think they went 0-7 or 0-8. They went 0.
was it that
It was
far?
pretty bad.
Really?
They were the worst team starting off the season, but they
Oh,
were the
I
last to
didn't-
get
I
win.
didn't realize they
And
went
now
that
they're
far.
right there at 10-13. So they've been playing really well
Wow.
as of late. And I mean, when it comes down to it, they could be a playoff team. I don't know how far they can get in the playoffs, but actually the replay's up there right now of tonight's big shot.
But I mean, if you look at it, like their starters tonight, there's not necessarily like the most talented group. I mean, you still have De'Aaron Fox out too, but like Bielitsa 17 points, Rashawn Holmes 16 points, Harrison Barnes 19 points, Corey Joseph 14 points, Buddy Hield 26 points, just balanced,
That's super balanced. That's crazy.
and 13 for Bogdanovich coming off the bench. I mean, they have a lot of professional basketball players there.
And they have a good new coach.
I still think Luke Walton's a good coach.
I think he's good.
Yeah.
Let's see if Walton can silence the haters. A lot of people are saying he's a terrible coach. I think he's actually doing a good job.
Well,
At least these last 2 games,
Yeah.
he's doing a good job.
I'll say one thing. I don't think he's so much a terrible coach. I feel like just like Lonzo Ball, certain people, they're not built for certain NBA markets. And
Well,
for
especially
him-
once LeBron shows up.
yeah, I mean, yes, exactly. If that would have been his team with a little bit more of his own fingerprint to put on it, it could have been a different story in LA. But when you're on that type of team and you wish to kind of put your stamp on a team and a superstar shows up and is like, no, we're running this.
Yeah.
Everything undermines everything that you want to do.
And Luke is a ball movement guy.
Yeah.
It's from his father to the people he's played for, all this other stuff. And then LeBron comes in. You are no longer a ball movement motion offense.
Yeah.
LeBron is running this, and that is what he will run, and that is what we will run.
That is the final
LeBron's your
story.
coach now.
Yeah.
LeBron is the coach now.
That's it.
That's the way it goes.
LeBron
you don't
on
like
3.
listening to nobody. Remember, he got rid of David Blatt. He said,
He did.
"You're gone."
Yes,
Yeah,
he did.
David Black
Um,
got a bad rap for that, too, because, I mean, he's well regarded as a coach all around the world, and he was brought over to teach an offense to a young team, and then LeBron decided to come home. And then
And then he got railroaded.
it was bad for him.
And he never got another job in
Not
the
in the
NBA.
NBA.
I don't feel bad for him. He still had to get paid. They had to pay him all that money.
He still should have gotten another job.
He definitely should, and I feel like he still should.
Well, he's got to go over some health issues
Yeah.
now first.
They
Oh,
did him
really?
dirty. Hey, how about the Detroit Pistons? There's another team where they got some talent on the team, but it feels like they're just sluggish and they're not playing good basketball. I don't know
Well,
what
you
it
have
is.
talent. They have sluggish talent. They have, people like Derrick Rose, who actually I think he hit a game winner tonight, didn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, he hit
Yeah.
a game winner. You have Blake
Blake is
Griffin.
different.
So you have big games, but it's just players that aren't healthy and will never be fully 100%. And then you have Andre Drummond, who will rebound out of this world, but he doesn't do a lot of any other things.
Yeah,
you
he
know,
plays defense, but he's not a supreme offensive threat.
and he's not a really big guy. But I mean, he's not that tall.
What? Andre Drummond's like 7'3".
No,
He's not 7'3", but he's around 7 foot.
6'10", 6'11".
No, he's 7. He's a 7-footer.
Yeah, I said he's around 7 foot.
Yeah, he's much tall. He's taller than Jerome by a good margin. I've seen them next to
No,
each other.
he is a talented player, but Blake is a very different player now. He's still super skilled, but he cannot do the explosive stuff
The
anymore.
explosion is gone.
Andre Drummond, 6'10", 279.
Lies, but I'll listen.
I believe he's 6'10". Go ahead.
When it comes to Detroit, it seems like that's a perfect example of you can have the big names, you can have like the big names, but that's not what it's about. You got to be able to play good together. You got to be able to contribute. And it seems like Blake Griffin, he seems is not like yourself. He looks older, slower. And you got a Drummond. Yeah, he's a big center, can rebound, but that's it seems like centers like that, they're kind of time's passing them by. You got to be able to shoot a jump shot and work some post moves at least. Do something. If they just be able to get good out there and get some rebounds and dunk the ball when it's handed. So you got to be able to make a play for yourself every now and then.
Well, but it's not just that, but it's chasing jump shooters too. That's your problem now. Is guys like him can't just hang back and protect the rim. Yeah. You have to go run out at guys at the 3-point line, and that's hard.
And you don't have any players averaging over 20 points a game. Blake is averaging 19. Drummond's at 17. So you don't have any. And this is a scoring league right now. So if you don't have anyone over 20 points a game, you're not going to win many games. You need at least one guy that's getting you a solid, 23, 25.
Who is getting their main buckets down the stretch? That's the real question.
Yeah,
Derrick Rose,
Luke Kennard.
Derrick Rose.
Luke Kennard's actually playing decent. He's playing pretty well. It seems like he's like one of their number one options when it comes to in the starters. When it comes to the starters wise, but that's not going to be enough. He's still.
And I'll be honest, I thought this was a team that should have this summer went after Carmelo Anthony, but instead they were hyped up off the Big Three League and signed Joe Johnson, who didn't even last throughout the preseason.
Yeah.
So if they were going to go after somebody like that, why not go after Carmelo, who we know is better than Joe Johnson, know is younger, has more legs than Joe Johnson? I think that would have been a good pickup for them. Was he going to take them over the top to win a championship? No. But
another offensive option.
It would have been a good offensive option. He's been playing really good in Portland. I think that would have worked in Detroit, and that's the second time they passed on Carmelo. The first time was a little bit bigger, but
good job.
I don't agree there. I think Carmelo, this story, the feel-good story, him winning the Player of the Week stuff, you got to look at it. He's beat my Bulls twice. My Bulls, which has been
fair
completely garbage, man. I mean, Lauri Markkanen, I thought he was going to be a step up. I thought he was going to be the face of the franchise, step up. And this dude, he's not making a shot. He can't make a 3-point shot.
And he has to stay healthy. He's been hurt all year.
Well, it also doesn't help to have your team be run by Zach LaVine.
Ooh.
Zach LaVine's good, man. He's talented, but it's just like
he can't run your team, though. You don't want him with the ball in his hands.
I don't know what it is with the Bulls. We got talent, too. We got a bunch of talented players, but they just can't get it together. Because you look at LaVine, the dude's a freak athlete. Quick first step. He can shoot the ball. You got Lauri Markkanen, tall. He can shoot the ball. And then, other than that, there's really not too many. You kind of got like Archie, Kobe White.
You got a lot of young players, so I think they're exactly where I would expect them to be right now. Their record is
not good.
8-17. I think that's where.
But they don't have a winning team's roster.
Yeah, that's where I expect them. Yeah. I wouldn't give up on Markkanen. I think he's one of those players like you trade and he ends up blowing up on the next team.
And you're mad.
So I think that's a guy you can't give up on. He's young.
He's too big and too skilled to just throw your hands.
But
on.
I mean,
but Zach LaVine can't be your best player and be a playoff team. I think he'd be a great 2 guy, 3 guy, but he and let's face it, I didn't think he was going to be near as quick like you said his first step with that injury. He's he's totally come back from that injury, and he's playing great, but he's not going to be the best player on your team and hopes to make the playoffs.
No, I agree. I think there needs to be some surrounding talent. You got to go with it. Kobe White, he's pretty good. He showed some promise. Who's that Gafford dude? I don't know if you watched him play. Daniel Gafford. He's a big athlete. He's showed some decent talent. It's just we're going to need another big time player. You got another draft coming up next year. Bring someone in to complement them. But right now, just a young players that are kind of just young, dumb, and full of cum, as they like to say. Other than that, it's not really.
You need a ball mover there because Kobe White and Zach LaVine are both just ball dominant guys that are gonna, when they have it in their hands, it's not flowing around. So guys like Markkanen and Wendell Carter,
Otto Porter.
Well, hey, thanks for the call, man, and we definitely appreciate you tuning into our show.
All right, man. Thank you for my call. Take it easy.
Yes, sir. But it is the type of team, like you got a lot of young players. You got to just keep developing the young players. Hope you have good drafts in the next year or two, and hope that you start getting some good, solid free agents to go with those guys.
And you need the lottery
to build
to break
your team
right.
like that. Yeah.
Lottery's got to break right too.
Yep.
Chicago's still always going to be a great market.
And if you build your team right, if you build your team right, you can get the free agents to come there if you're building right. No, I haven't been to Chicago, and I really do want to go.
Just poison the relationship between LeBron and Anthony Davis and get Anthony Davis to come home.
I mean, Chicago that's not Cleveland. It is a beautiful, it is a beautiful city. There's a lot to do.
Don't go down the wrong street.
No. Well, the players, they live nowhere near there. They live in Lake Forest, which is where the Bulls training facility is, which is 40 minutes outside.
We got another phone call. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yo, this is Otha Johnson. I'm calling in from Daytona Beach, Florida.
What up? What up?
Well, what's going on? I'm hearing what's going on. I heard my man just talking about Chicago. I'm actually originally from Chicago, and I want him to know that, all the players don't live in Lake Forest, Illinois.
Most of them. I will say when my brother played there, most of the players lived in Lake Forest or surrounding areas.
You're right about that. They're not going to venture into, the most adventurous neighborhoods. But, I called in tonight upon special request from my man Von Brown, my man Jose, and we really wanted to get into this L.A. because I want to start off on the West Coast because you guys are based out there, right?
Yeah, we're out here in Vegas, yeah.
Right, so out there in Vegas right now, what is your aspect? What's your outlook on what the L.A. Rams are going to be able to do compared to how they're going to play against the Ravens the next time they see them?
The L.A. Rams. Listen,
that still feels wrong. That still feels wrong. Him saying it was like, oh, that's right.
It's more right than it should be. No, I think the Rams have started to look like the Rams. They run Todd Gurley again, and all of a sudden, wow, Jared Goff's not the worst quarterback in the league.
He had some really good throws last night, even though he had some bad ones too.
Then your defense all of a sudden starts playing a lot better because they're not on the field a lot more. So
my thing is this, guys, is that Jared Goff is the highest paid quarterback, and he's the most garbage quarterback. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's a lot of Hollywood going on right now with the Rams, and I think that they're over it. Like you said, guys said it's girly. So I think they're really over exaggerating the talent that's on that team.
All right. Well, I'll ask you one thing. All right, give me. I'll make it easy. Give me 5 quarterbacks that you'd put on the Rams outside of Jared Goff, and outside of Patrick Mahomes. Take him off the table. I'll just take him away.
Well, it's hard in the NFL to come up with 5 quarterbacks no matter where you're trying to put them. But I will say this right now.
Okay.
I will say this right now. That there is a better system for him to be in than the one that he's in now.
Okay.
Because if you're in a run-based system with a pass-first quarterback, it's not going to work. And I really just called out the Rams because I wanted to hear what my guys thought about that. Vaughn, he's a big Rams fan, so I feel like all these guys out there in the West, they feel like the Rams are the next team out of the West is going to do something. What do you guys feel about that?
No,
they seemed like it before.
Yeah.
I mean, last year,
the 49ers
have pretty much debunked that theory, right?
Oh no, the Niners moved right past them. Right past them. They're in the rearview mirror already.
Yeah.
And something I heard you guys talking about earlier was the LA Lakers and the Clippers situation, man. And what I have to say is this, man. I feel like in the battle of LA right now, LeBron has positioned himself to be the superior guy. When it comes to the Clippers and that whole Kawhi Leonard beef and everything they were talking about all the disrespect in the offseason. LeBron has got Anthony Davis there, and it's working.
Well, Anthony Davis is one of the most talented players to walk the earth. I mean, getting him and LeBron meshed together perfectly. And yeah, as we talked about before, if Kawhi was there healthy with Paul George there healthy, then you could really have something going. But if Kawhi is going to have to load manage constantly, and he's clearly not right, there's never going to be a rivalry. The Clippers have zero
if they
titles.
win a championship.
Yeah,
still not a rivalry.
there's no rivalry.
What I'm saying right now, though, from the Bucks and the East, and from the Lakers, right now the Lakers look like the best team in the West. Do you guys disagree with me?
Oh, they definitely are. I mean, the record.
God, I wish I could.
Proves it, and the way they're playing,
so LeBron is about to do unprecedented things because he's about to win championships at 3 different teams, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Potentially.
Kawhi's trying to do the same thing.
Don't
Yeah,
say that.
Kawhi's trying to do the same exact thing.
Kawhi's position, and look, in Kawhi actually, in doing it, he would also have dethroned 3 teams. This would be 3 times because Kawhi already he did it. He did it to San Antonio, not to San Antonio, but to the Heatles.
Yeah.
He then did it to Golden State, and then this time he would more than likely have to go through.
He did it to
LeBron.
San Antonio too.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
but at the same time,
in a different way.
There's no team in the league right now that's actually a defending champion necessarily.
Yes, yeah, but
So
but
if
he
he-
would. But I mean, if it's the hallway series,
I'm
it
going
would-
to say my little piece because, like I said, I'm a Chicago native. The reason I brought up the Lakers is because of Anthony Davis. I feel like Anthony Davis is the key factor on the Lakers. Now LeBron, if you watch LeBron the past 3 seasons of LeBron, he's been more of a passive player than he has been before. You've seen him get more assists, more passing. Right now he has somebody he can distribute to. In Cleveland, Kevin Love was a bust. He was a fraud. He was a fake. He was a liar. He was not white chocolate. He was not what we thought he was going to be.
the devil is
Now,
alive.
if you watch LeBron beat Anthony Davis, he's happy to know that now he doesn't have to play center. LeBron played point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center in Miami and Cleveland. Now he doesn't have to do that anymore. Now he can sit back and play 1 and 2 guard and feed the ball to the big man, and he's smiling.
No, and that's
At
why he's
35 years old, LeBron is smiling.
Yeah, and that's why he's leading the league in assists, and that's why I think he'll continue to the rest of the year.
Yeah.
I think it's very smart, and for someone like LeBron to be able to take almost a back seat and say, this guy, it's his team now. We're giving it to Anthony Davis. He has been.
He has been.
He's
until,
not. It's not going to change.
But the second it's the playoffs, he's like, this is
It's not gonna
LeBron's
change.
next time.
But
Like
the way Lakers
I
are
think,
playing,
you know what?
everyone's
I'm
being
always-
unselfish.
I'll have a
I think they're going to
confession.
continue.
Being a Chicago Bulls fan, I've always had a big taste for LeBron because he's always disrespected us every time he had a chance. But also, I grew up a Michael Jordan fan. I grew up early in that early 90s era when we were dominating it. You don't ever want to see anybody take away from your childhood dream. I was so against LeBron. But now to see him perform at a mature level, right now he doesn't want the spotlight. He's actually giving it to Anthony Davis because he knows that he's going to solidify his legacy through carrying the ball instead of trying to be the dominant player. In LA, all he has to do is share.
Well, he also knows he's LeBron James, so that spotlight is on him anyways, and he's in L.A., so the spotlight's there whether he tries to steal it all or if he shares it with somebody like Anthony Davis. And Anthony Davis, I know we've said this on the show, but for the casual fan, I'm not sure if they knew Anthony Davis was this good. But we've been saying it for years. I said it 3 or 4 years ago that he'll be one of the best. He'll be the best player in the league within 4 or 5 years, and he's right there in the mix with all the best players in the league right now. I don't think there's a solidified best, but I think, there's a handful of the best right now, which has made the NBA beautiful this year. And Clippers aren't done. Of course, it's early. They're still getting to learn each other. I think that's what everyone thought the Lakers were going to do. I don't think they thought LeBron and AD were going to learn each other this quick at this time. But listen, Clippers are going to be fine. They're a really good team. They have a whole entire.
The Battle of LA. The Battle of LA intrigues me, but like you just said, you pointed out the fact. I think that nobody really expected that chemistry to happen with LeBron and Anthony Davis as fast as it did.
Yeah.
And I think that is something that I had to take a step back and say, we'll have to respect LeBron now because he's not really that condescending asshole I thought he always was. The guy actually realizes that to be great, you have to take a back seat sometimes now. And right now he's in LA. He's living his life. He's doing good. And guess what? He's feeding the ball. He's leading in assists. He's doing what he does. But are they going to win the championship?
I mean, we'll see. I
Fuck,
think
hope not.
that's something we'll see.
The
Is
man
there
speaking,
anybody that can
he
challenge
definitely
them?
hopes.
Is there any team that can challenge them in the league right now?
Yeah,
Clippers.
Clippers definitely
Clippers,
can. Milwaukee
Milwaukee.
definitely can.
Milwaukee.
Boston. Listen, Boston.
Boston
Once they get Hayward back, he was playing normal again, and Boston's good,
we'll
and
see.
they have
No,
good coach.
They're
so
good,
they could be
but
right there.
I don't think they have the bodies to match up with the Lakers.
Dave, Josh, Juan, I'm not going to try to hog up all the time because I appreciate you guys letting me call in and
For
give
real,
me
man.
Thank
thoughts.
you.
Appreciate you, man.
for
Thanks
the
so
call.
much for the
what
call.
I want to say is, I want to say the one next thing is that, I think that if you look at LeBron James, if you look at the Clippers situation right now, I think that the leadership and the Lakers organization is going to lead them over Kawhi's situation because those guys don't have it together. For LeBron to mesh with Anthony Davis so early, I think that that's a sign that he's a more mature player. He'll never be Michael Jordan. He's never been a cutthroat player. He's never going to kill you in the fourth quarter. He's never going to be a dominant, the guy you expect to see flying high. But he's always going to be, that one guy you say he's spectacular. And that's what he is. He's always going to be a very great player, but never be that one guy you could say was like magical when you see how he plays. Because he doesn't impress me in that way. He impressed me in the way that he's adapted to every level. He's like the LL Cool J of basketball.
All right, man. We appreciate the call, man.
Thank you for letting me call in, man.
Thanks
For sure,
so
I'll
man.
much.
definitely check you guys out next time, man. But I appreciate the show. You guys talk good stuff, man. So
Definitely,
keep
man.
it up, man, out there in Las Vegas. Much love.
Download the Gorilla Cross app. We appreciate it.
We appreciate you.
All right, and LeBron's definitely taken over fourth quarter, so I won't agree with him there because he did that the whole playoffs 2 years ago.
Man, Daytona Beach in the house. Had some of my best
Yeah.
summers of my lifetime in Daytona Beach as a child.
But the Clippers, I know we talked about this before the season started. If this load management thing happens, it's going to take them a while to really mesh. And
Doc Rivers has
if
said,
you're not going to play together a lot of games, and these are two injury-prone players,
it's not even so much games. Doc Rivers, I want to say this was like maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. He was like, they hadn't even practiced together yet.
Yeah, I mean
Like,
that's rough.
and that's the whole preseason. So like this is coming all the way from preseason.
And that has to be a little intimidating when you
camp.
are looking at the Lakers as the Clippers, looking at the Lakers and
Sure.
seeing how well they've meshed.
Yeah.
And even the coach. I mean, we got to give Vogel some
Yes,
credit
no,
because
he's done well.
they've
He's done well.
played defense this year.
He's done
you know?
well.
So we do
Vogel's
got
a
another
defensive
caller.
coach.
Oh my
We got
goodness.
another caller live on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Vaughn. I'm from LA. I'm just calling about the Rams and the guy that was talking about Todd Gurley. I'm not sure who that was.
was
I'm
your
actually
boy.
a huge Rams fan. I converted from being a Bucks fan in 2017
Okay.
to being a Rams fan, so I'm letting everybody know that I did sell out. But I'm going to ask you one question. Does Todd Gurley have more 100-yard games than he does not have 100-yard games in his career? Because I know it's pretty close. And I know that that's a pretty bad stat. He's been running. I've been going to all of the games. I have season tickets. The guy has no explosion. He can't cut back anymore. And he basically takes what's given to him. So by the guy saying that Todd Gurley is running the ball well is the reason why we're winning, that's an erroneous comment. Jeff Goff, they actually had to change the scheme because Todd Gurley, was explosive 2 years ago, whatever. They did the jet sweeps, all the stuff off of that. When you take away the explosiveness, what was going on was bad coaching. Like Sean McVay was doing the same plays without the explosion. What you're seeing now is him honing it back and more of a textbook shotgun, quick slant, quick out, bubble screen. Todd Gurley's not the reason why. I just want to let that guy know that.
And Gurley did good last night.
79 yards. Week before he had 95. One touchdown each game.
Yeah, his explosiveness is. I mean, he has tendonitis in his knee. He's never going to.
But even that,
arthritis.
but even that, I think with Gurley, you have to at least give him the ball to change up the offense because when you're not running the ball at all, it's a lot easier to get into Jared Goff's head.
Yeah, well, especially with a young quarterback, you
Yeah.
got to help your young quarterback. You
Plus,
need to run the
He's
ball.
not
They
young
ran so
anymore.
much off
He's
play
not young.
action.
He's not young anymore. This is his fourth or fifth. After your third year,
Still
you're
young.
not young.
He's
He's
still-
younger, but he's not young.
But still, any quarterback, truthfully,
Yeah.
like outside of what 3 Rodgers, Drew Brees on stretches, Tom Brady when he has help. Like there's only a few quarterbacks where they don't need the running game. where they can just say, okay, I'm going to sling it
Or
all day
you can
long.
be Lamar Jackson and be the running game too. Yeah, he's the best quarterback in the league.
That's an alien. That's a different
just
story.
want to let you guys know about the Rams. They're going to beat the Niners in the Bay Area.
Definitely not.
And it's going to happen. And it's going to be because we're going to be getting the ball off quickly and not because of Todd Gurley running the ball well. Just want to get that out there.
And if you don't give the ball away quickly, you're going to be hurt. So
thanks so much.
I agree.
Thank you, Vaughn. Thanks so much for the call, brother.
LA all day.
And, I know they're thinking God for Jalen Ramsey over your boy Peters.
Although Peters has shown up the
played
moment he got
well
to
in
Baltimore.
He's been balling over there. So
that
that was definitely good for him.
Yeah.
And it's definitely been good for Jalen Ramsey being in LA, forcing his way to LA.
I was about to say the landscape definitely isn't better. Faux show.
I know why. I found out why he wanted to go to LA so bad, but we won't talk about that. But she's very pretty.
Just Kawhi Leonard, since everybody was talking about, Kawhi's not right, whatever. Kawhi's averaging 25.1, 7.9 rebounds, 5.2 assists, and he has the 7th best PER in the league right now. So, as I said earlier,
he's
one leg Kawhi is still absolutely murdering people.
No, and listen, we're not saying he's not balling anymore, but the fact that he's missing games, that has to mess with team chemistry. They got absolutely destroyed by Milwaukee.
Did they?
Oh, gosh.
Kawhi played.
They all played. They had
played.
A full roster.
Uh-oh.
It was in Milwaukee.
We're talking 40-plus points.
It was not close the whole game.
Giannis took that personally.
They lost by 20.
They got destroyed.
They lost by 20. They were down by 40-something when they pulled the starters.
Oh, wow. Yeah, and
wasn't
Kawhi was 35% from the floor. Yeah, that's not a good game. 17 points, 5 turnovers, 2 steals, 2 blocks.
See, that's where I think that you cannot discount this Bucks team. Giannis is willingly shooting through. Granted, he's only a little over 30%.
No, but he's shooting.
But he's shooting them.
That's
now you
very
at least
important.
have to. You can't just let up all the way.
And Giannis is a killer. Giannis wants to destroy people.
He's a baby face, but he does want to break people up.
And he's tall. He can get the ball to the hole anytime he wants.
Yeah.
He's 2 steps from right inside half court, and he's there.
That's insane.
He's an alien.
He
does not make sense.
He is too.
All right, I know we got to wrap it up because it's 11 o'clock at night.
Yes, it is.
But we do appreciate everybody calling. Knicks fired their coach. What do you guys think about that? He's still getting paid. I think they're paying 4 coaches now.
Yeah, who could win? Who can win? You can't win there.
Well, no. Did you see? I can't remember if either one of us posted it or if I just saw it. But they asked him, what was wrong, and he said, "How am I supposed to win with 8 power forwards?"
That was a fake quote, but it's still genuine. Yes.
Oh no!
But the fact is,
I wish that was a real quote.
We talked about that during our the free agency.
Yeah.
Their free agency was awful.
We talked about that.
That's not Fizdale's fault.
It's not.
Show me who. The problem for them is that word got out that he was getting fired, and that's when they started getting destroyed by everybody.
Yeah, that's not okay.
I don't know that you can really put much of this on Fizdale.
It's just a bad organization.
Not only that, they also they never had a press conference. What organization doesn't come out and talk to the press after you fire a coach? They all do.
The Knicks.
The Knicks.
That's it.
That don't want to have that.
And somehow
kind of
Steve Mills will get a promotion.
And I don't understand that because he should be gone too. But it's bad when it starts with ownership. You're not going to have a good organization.
But Steve Mills would have been gone. They were bringing in David Griffin for an interview. He made the Tim Hardaway Jr. sighting, and Griffin's like, "How about we turn this plane right back around here? I'm not going there."
Can't say anything bad about Steve. Steve's my guy.
He might be your guy, but he's doing a bad job.
Steve was my guy from the NBA office. No, I got no problem with it. Look, hey, when he
but he also might be doing
enough.
a bad
He's not
job
my guy.
because
He's doing a terrible job.
Is Dolan one of those owners that tries to control everything that the GM and president do?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can't even do anything. You can't even do your job because you have someone else making you look bad. He's telling me what to say and do. So I got to come out here and say it because I'm getting paid to say it.
Yep.
And now everyone hates me now.
Yeah.
and it falls back on the coach, and now everyone. It's just a bad organization.
The funniest thing is that people think that Dolan would ever sell that team. He's never selling the team.
He doesn't care.
Well, and I'll tell you the reason.
He has more
why.
money you could ever spend, and he's the man in New York.
Yes, because in the thing that I don't think a lot of people understand, when yes, I can sell the team and make much more money than I could have right now just by owning it. But like you said, when I sell the team, I no longer matter. I'm no longer relevant.
I no longer own the team.
I no longer own the team. I can no longer have that, because there's like, Quan, you understand when you talk to somebody and it's like, yeah, no, I own my own business.
Yeah.
There's a difference in talking about from a position of I own it versus I work there.
But you also own the business.
Yeah.
You own in one of the most important cities in the world.
Yes.
A great basketball city with a ton of super rich people and celebrities.
Yes.
You're the person that determines, you get those seats. Oh, you don't.
Everything. Yeah.
You're the guy.
That is insane power.
I've said it before, but that whole thing with the video, I said the video of him kicking the guy out of MSG for good.
Talking about Charles Oakley?
No, when it was a fan that
the
told
fan,
him to sell the team.
He's
being a jerk, all this and that. And people were like, oh, yeah, you should sell the team. I was like, here's why he won't sell that team. Did you not notice the 4 models walking with him with that? If he's not the Knicks owner, even as rich as he is,
he still has it, but it's not the same.
It's not remotely the same.
Not the same.
It's not the same as like, hey, you want to sit courtside in the building I own for the team that I own?
Next to Spike Lee.
It's Spike Lee. I mean,
and
all these other people are going to be there.
A lot.
Celebrities on top of celebrities are there.
Yeah.
All right.
They're going.
And to close it out, in some really bad news today, Nick Cannon made a diss track.
Oh my God.
To Eminem.
That sounds
and
awful.
had and had 3 features on there.
Don't scare
He had 3 features on a diss track?
He had 3 features on a diss track.
What happened?
Listen, only one diss track is allowed to have features. Only one ever. Just hit him up.
That's it.
What did Eminem
And he also had a feature of Suge Knight on a phone call from jail.
What?
Listen, man, Nick Cannon, you have kids. You don't need Suge Knight calling from jail.
Yeah, you don't need that.
Have a better influence.
Nick Cannon stole one of my girls. I'm still upset about that. It happens.
But it really, I don't even think Eminem comes. Why would
I
he come
hope
back
he
and
does not even respond, because he wins by not responding. But if he tears him up too, I wouldn't mind that, because Nick Cannon is one of my least favorite people.
Nick Cannon
in entertainment
is a very easy target.
that target is too easy for
that
Eminem.
That mark writes itself.
Oh no, that's one where Eminem probably looks at. He's like,
not today.
No need.
Not today.
Eminem's daughter could probably hit him with a diss track that's going to come
Get him,
hard
Haley.
enough.
And on the last note, Alistair Overeem, we are actually sitting here watching it on Saturday while my man Dodo was painting the wall. And we're almost done with the new studio in here. We will be done. Grand opening in January. And I gave shout outs last week. I got a phone call from a certain family member who's my brother. And I guess I didn't shout out my brother, Josh.
That's a shame.
You were supposed to shout him out.
Well, Mike.
Why were you supposed to?
I don't know.
I'll tell you. That's all right. You can share the blame. Mike did an amazing job.
He did a lot. He helped move. He helped paint. He didn't even want to paint, and we saved some painting for him.
Not only did he not want to paint, but then he came in and was in the minute details of the painting that I greatly appreciated.
And he's gonna help build the walls once we get the walls in here.
Build the wall.
And build well. We're going to call it the Trump.
Build that wall.
The Trump wall.
You better not do that, Dave.
But listen,
Dave
man, the lip on Overeem, I even said it. There's 20 seconds left. I'm like, well, there's 20 seconds. They can't do anything now. Dude lost. But there was one more hit in his fist, and I've never seen a lip go over someone's nose, but it busted all the way open from here. It flapped all the way over his nose. And
that was bad.
Some people were saying, why'd you stop the fight? He was getting up, but he got up and started walking out of the octagon. So you had to stop the fight.
That fight was properly stopped. There should be no controversy.
That was a knockout.
There.
Anytime your lip rips in half, like it wasn't a busted lip, it was a ripped.
I've never seen a thing like it.
Destroyed lip. It blew up. That's what it looked like when I first saw the hit.
Clearly, it caught a piece of glove or something.
I don't know
it was bad.
what that was, but that didn't look good.
And I know, like, I'm watching all the fighters talk about it on Twitter, Dana White. It's like, it's ugly, but it's good for the UFC because that made that entertaining for that night and something to talk about.
Definitely gave, DC especially with it being the final fight too. It gave.
And that's only the second time they've been in DC.
Yeah. That's not DC isn't a spot they go to.
Yeah.
Well, then on top of that, it's just after the boring boxing title fight to have something come out where at the end, like, oh well, this was a loss that became a win.
Yeah. Yep.
And Overeem's face will never be the same after this.
That sucks.
Plastic surgery, even with modern technology, can only do so much.
It's true.
And I feel horrible. I forgot the guy's name, but he is up and coming. He's, I think, 10-0.
No reason to feel horrible. They said before the fight, it was like, he's so good that we have to actually start figuring out how to say his name.
Yeah. And he's I think, 9-0 or 10-0 in the UFC.
He's 10-0.
72 and something in kickboxing, though.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Dude's been fighting for a long time.
Oh, okay.
He called out Francis Ngannou.
Maybe leave him alone.
I'm not sure if he wants him yet, but at the same time,
Might be a little early for that.
Leave him be.
Overeem used to be that dude, but he's not been that dude. I mean, he's been losing a lot lately, but
Overeem's been doing it for a long time, too.
Yeah, Overeem, I looked at his record. His record was crazy. I'm like, bro, that's a lot of MMA fights.
Yep.
He was like 46 and something.
And also,
else.
the one thing to remember, it's like, yes, you got that shot, but you were losing that fight.
Yeah. That wasn't.
That shot won a fight, but otherwise you lost.
You snatched a victory from the jaws of defeat. Literally,
and almost went to the jaw.
And we won't be in the studio on Tuesday, but we will go live at some point from UFC. I'm not sure if we're going to be at Red Rock. I'm not sure where we're at on Thursday.
Oh.
But
I gotta look at the schedule.
Yeah, we gotta talk about that before you leave. But we will be somewhere, so we'll go live on our phones or something to talk about you guys, and to you guys about UFC 245 this week. Make sure you guys tune in. We will be there in the building. So follow us at Gorilla Cross on all social media because we will be posting a lot about it. And we do got a phone caller that we won't take. We appreciate you guys.